Hello, everybody, and welcome to X-Marks the Spot with me, your host, Victor Hammer, this week. Fresh off the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, or sorry, the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view.
Sponsored by Ninja Turtles.
Sponsored by
I would
Ninja
also,
Turtles.
I
Ding.
would also like to say he's back and better than ever.
And I have slightly less gray hair than when he came back. But anyway, so
You got hair?
I do.
Wow. Okay.
You're forgetting about his other head.
Yeah, Nap had hair. You hairists. Anyway, so before we get into the pay-per-view proper, we're gonna each mention something over the past month, wrestling related that we wanted to highlight as something we enjoyed or whatnot. So, with yours first, take it away, Marcus.
All right. Well, this was probably kind of obvious, but I don't know. I just thoroughly enjoyed it the entire month. It was the thing that was the most entertaining week in and week out on Raw, and that's Kane. I'm sorry, Kane was just hilarious, and he did that dichotomy, that kind of Gollum-esque type thing, that Schmeagol, Schmeagol Gollum thing so well, where you have corporate Kane, who's basically the Schmeagol, and he's like all happy-go-lucky and like, hi, I'm the director of operations, and I'm here to serve you. And then you have Demon Kane, who's basically the Gollum, and he's just like, death to Rollins, he's got the precious, And it's like it works so well, and just I don't know, Kane with a shit-eating grin scares the shit out of me.
I did like this feud. It's always cool to see Kane in that Abyss role. Like I said, I thought WWE did a good job of it. I like that.
Absolutely.
With the whole, oh my god, is he actually Demon Kane? Yeah, he is. He's a wait, is he? I just wanted the scene where he's talking to his own mask on a chair, William Dafoe style.
That would have been cool. I was also kind of hoping, again, for the Gollum parallel to have him literally talking to himself as the camera just moves around. That would have been awesome. But yeah, talking to the mask would have been awesome too. But yeah, that was the storyline that amused me and entertained me this month. Yeah. And for my money, probably the best storyline WWE had going.
Nice. All right, so with yours, take it away, Mole.
Okay, I had two. That was my first one. My second one, I just want to give props to, is the WWE Network this month.
Okay.
Because there's been some great fucking content this month.
Mm-hmm.
We've had the podcast. We've had New Dinner for Freeze. They brought back more rivalries I fucking love. Although I kind of wish the Ric Flair one worked.
Alright, what was the Ric Flair one they highlighted?
The second Ric Flair one they've got on the list is Ric Flair v Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And at least on my end, on the day I was trying to watch it, everything I tried it on, and I even tried it on other people's internet to make sure it wasn't just my end and all this shit, and I kept doing it, was it would get to like 5 seconds into it, 10 seconds in, and then just suddenly skip to the end bit where it's like all black with the logo, with thanks for watching. It's like, oh, okay, I know what I'll do. And I fast forwarded it 5 minutes just to get past where it was on. I'm like, I'm going to beat it. Jump does it again after that, and it's like, wait, what? Why are you doing this? But still, I mean, we had the awesome WWE Breaking Grounds debut. We added the new season of Tough Enough to the network this month, which I binge watched the shit out of. Tough Enough and Tough Talk. Tough Enough Talk. Tough Enough Talk. Which that was fun. And yeah, WWE Network, there's just been a whole, I don't know what you'd call it, but a fucking shitload of content, which that's always good. It's always interesting content too.
Yep, Unscripted with Renee Young.
Yep.
Those are always interesting. Yep. Yeah, they're certainly backing the network quite a bit here, and like you said, this last month they have put out quite a lot of stuff and quite a lot of good stuff. So.
Yep. Sadly, we have had that horrible delay.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a spoiler for what we're going to be discussing later, because I don't think anyone's written down the exact moment this was said. However, they did mention that show we were looking forward to, Camp WWE, debuts this spring. I'm like, cool. Wait a minute, that's spring. Oh.
Yeah, that was funny.
Because I was like, oh, it's past spring. And then when I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, it was being delayed because Hogan's in it. Oh. Hogan delaying my cartoon has to be the worst thing that he ever did with his racist comment. I mean, by making that racist comment, he has alienated a whole type of person, which is wrestling fans. And it's just not fair.
True.
I thought Hogan delaying the second WWE Scooby-Doo movie because of his racism was worse.
We got the Kick-Ass Kiss movie.
That's true.
I saw that story the other day.
Yeah, I don't know if it actually is Kick-Ass. I haven't seen it
don't know.
yet, I will admit, but the fact it exists in 2015, Scooby-Doo meeting Kiss just blew my mind. Even
Whenever
more
I
so
see it.
because I saw it with little kids. I'm like, oh my god! And I'm like, well, Scooby-Doo meets Kiss, and I'm looking at it like, what's that? And I'm just like, ah.
Did you walk away from the whatever had it with the sad Hulk music?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just like, ah.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I was the first. Whenever I see like Kiss in anything, I always have to think Kiss saves Santa.
Yes.
So I see that and I'm just like, ha! I start laughing. Wife leads like, what? And I'm like, Kiss. She's like, oh yeah. I'm like, they saved Santa. She's like, ah, okay.
Nice. Nice. Why isn't that a real movie?
Now with the power of Scooby-Doo, it is.
Ha.
And
But
as
no,
I said, when Mole mentioned that to me, it's kind of 20 years too late.
And you gotta hate things that are 20 years too late. Now, so on a different note, who's hoping it's Undertaker v Sting at WrestleMania?
Nah.
Oh, that's a thing. If Taker's retiring, that's going to be the first WrestleMania without Taker. That's going to be weird.
It's not gonna be the
No,
first WrestleMania without Taker, because A, there was loads before he debuted, and also, while he's been on the main roster, there was 1 year where he was injured and didn't make WrestleMania.
Actually, I think there's been 2 that he wasn't at officially because I think he's 21-1 right now.
Yeah.
And that was 22 WrestleManias, but I'm relatively sure he's only been at like 19 of those.
Isn't he 22-1?
22-1, fair enough. 22-1.
Doesn't everybody forget Bray Wyatt? I know I do.
Yeah.
So it's 23, and he's been around 25 years. Yeah, there's been 2 he hasn't been at. That makes sense.
Yeah. So therefore, there's been 2. I know there was the one he was injured, and there was another one, and I can't remember what the reason was why he wasn't at the other one.
Yeah, like I said, he missed 1, definitely. I don't know if he definitely missed 2. But he might have.
Well, if they're
Like,
celebrating 25 years of Undertaker and he's only got 23 match results, obviously
Yes.
he missed 2.
But if he's there this year at Survivor Series and it's the 25th year of him this year, how can he have been at 25 WrestleManias when he would have only been wrestling 24 years?
Dark magic.
For the record, I'm looking at the list here, and Undertaker missed WrestleManias 10 and 16.
No, what have you done?
So they're celebrating 25 years, which I believe is what they said.
Yeah, but they said they said the 25th. He's been there 25 years or 25th anniversary, which I point you to WrestleMania 25th anniversary. You never quite know.
It's true.
You never quite know with WWE whether or not they're bullshitting you when it comes to stuff like that. Oh, 25th anniversary, because normally when I say anniversary, it just means it's the 25th one.
Fair enough.
Yeah, usually. All right, so Jim, your thing through the month?
Okay. So it's just for this month, right?
Yes.
Nah, it's for all months. What? Fuck it.
All the months.
Oh, fine.
It's for next month too.
You know, I'll allow that. If he has one for next month, fuck it. He can do it.
Technically, this could count for everything, because honestly, I'm going outside the ring for this one. because all there's been some good things. Kane's entertained. There's been some good things happening in the ring. I think probably the thing I've been enjoying WWE the most has actually been happening outside the ring, and it's been happening over on Up Up Down Down.
Nice.
Yeah, Up Up Down Down's awesome.
In which Austin Creed has been hosting a Madden 16 tournament, which started back in September and will be continuing into next month, so it does count for both of those.
I believe it's going into hiatus.
He's hiatusing it?
He's hiatusing it, I believe, for WWE 2K16.
Oh.
He said it will come back, but it's going to take a hiatus.
Fair enough. I can respect that. But anyway, I've been watching the matches of the tournament, and they are some pretty awesome matchups. Seeing, guys, some of them semi in character, some of them not quite in character, and basically some of them just like, no, we're just having fun. They all. If you ever watched Up Up Down Down, for those of you listening at home, you'll know that they don't use their regular superstar names in here for whatever reason, probably because they want to, be individuals and have be more casual and not, hurt their characters. So they all use fake names, or nicknames, I should say. So as the tournament stands right now, the matches that happened this month, let's see, what do we had? We had, a few people got eliminated from the first round previously, and they're already gone. Those people being Mr. 24/7, a.k.a. Kofi Kingston. Kofi Kingston, Mr. Miller, a.k.a. Wendy Slater.
No, not Keith Slater.
Yeah. Actually, no, he didn't get eliminated first round. He beat Brad Maddox in the first round, a.k.a. Meatball. And then Oos got eliminated in the first round, which was shocking.
And I was going to say, logically, isn't there a really understandable reason why they don't use their in-ring names?
Why?
Same reason they don't on Total Divas. Because let's face facts, if you see New Day beat the shit out of John Cena, and then the next week he's on their show as friends.
It's weird, yeah.
So if it's the actual people, it's like, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, which they occasionally slip and they use the character names, but they try to stick to it pretty much.
Although there are two notable exceptions. One of them you just mentioned, Oos, which is Jimmy Uso.
Yeah, but he's not. Yeah, but he's not Jimmy Uso. He's Oos.
Yeah, but it's still his name. And,
no, it's not. It's U-C-E. Oos.
And Sasha Banks.
Because they didn't have one for her yet.
No, yeah, they had her. They dubbed her the boss.
No. Yeah. Well,
yeah, which is her ring name. She's the boss, Sasha Banks.
She was in the background.
Yeah, but it works. That's not. Yeah, I mean, sometimes a portion of the ring name can be in there. They just don't go with the straight up ring name. That's like complaining that Big E is named Big Wool.
And to be fair, I
that's
assume
the best one.
Yeah, and to be fair, I also assume that's probably for the same thing as like I mentioned with Total Divas and when WWE ever does this, is there's some wrestlers out there who don't want to use their real name for stuff, so
which is fair enough.
That too, which is fair enough. But yeah, so Mr. Miller beat Meatball in the second round. Oos lost to Cold Beer, aka Curtis Axel.
That's his. Okay.
That's what he's going by. And then we also in what was probably my favorite match so far, Makazi, whom is a guy who regularly appears on the show but is not a superstar. He lost to the Moneymaker, aka The Miz. And that was great because Miz made absolutely no pretense about, oh yeah, no, I'm Mike Bazan and we're having no. He walked in there, coat, sunglasses, started cutting promos on them. Like he made no guts. No, I'm calling myself Moneymaker, but I'm just The Miz. The only difference is gonna be when I go into the massive promo with the hour, like, no, I'm the best, not you. Is I'm gonna refrain from calling myself awesome. Other than that, I'm The Miz.
Yeah,
and that was great.
I still have to say my favorite match was who did he face? Swagger.
Yes.
Who was on Oklahoma?
Yes, Oklahoma took on Mr. Miller and trashed him thoroughly.
Right. Yes, he did. I also love at the beginning, like fucking Xavier Woods is like, dude, we need a nickname for you, and without blinking, he goes Oklahoma, and Xavier goes, all right, Oklahoma then, and then at that point, he realizes what Swagger said and completely loses it. And I'm just like, that's awesome. He's like, wait, what did you say?
Indeed, and in the most recent match from just under a week ago, we saw that, and actually, I lied about Kofi getting eliminated. Kofi made it to round 2 and then got eliminated. I apologize.
Oh.
Why would you lie to us?
I know, I didn't mean to. It's the chart. Actually, Kofi beat Austin Creed in the first round of his own tournament because Kofi.
Well, was it Mortal Kombat? Ooh.
No, that was a separate tournament. They've done that tournament a couple times before.
That was probably the joke.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so the most recent match just under a week ago, in the second of the round 2 matches after Oklahoma and Mr. Miller, we had Mr. 24/7 Kofi Kingston take on the champ.
Sorry.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Better known as Seth Rollins, who and they had a pretty good match too. The backboard, because those two are very good players. So it was very. It ended in a 7-0. Only one touchdown was scored because they were both very good going back and forth to each other. But Seth Rollins was clearly the superior player because not once but twice over the course of this game. Once the beginning when which led to him getting the touchdown, and the second time near the end, and the only reason he didn't get another one is because the time ran out. And Kofi's getting all. It should be noted here, Kofi is playing as the Seahawks. Big mistake. And
yes. Oh, sorry. What?
And he's playing against Rollins, who is using Da Bears. and he said it that way too.
Nice.
And he did. Because the problem is Rollins is from middle of nowhere, Iowa, so he doesn't have a home sports team. So he picked the Bears. So they had their match, and both times, as Kofi got control of the ball, he's pushing toward the end zone. They're going great. He's getting cocky, and the Rollins is like, "No, fuck you, interception. I'm going to run 2/3 of the field now."
Yeah.
Twice that happened. And Kofi's cursing at his players like, "What are you doing?" Like I said to I can remember the one dude. He's like the one dude like, "What are you doing? What did he say?" He's like, why are you on this team? You catch the ball. Your job is to catch the ball. Why are you on this team?" And Rod's like, he's on this team to drop balls like a motherfucker. I'm like, ooh, and then they bleep out the profanity, but you can still hear what it is. I think the best part of the whole thing is the two of them were really getting into it, and Brad Maddox sticks his head in from outside the door of the next room and goes, guys, they're actually trying to record something in the next room. Could you keep it down in here? And Kobe goes over his shoulder and goes, "Hey, we're recording something in here." That was pretty funny. Yeah, they had Cold Beer came in to watch that match. I think Oos showed up for a few minutes. I was surprised. It's too bad they didn't get Sizzle in here because Sizzle's bad. That's Damian Sandow, who has nothing to do. So he just shows up in this and just starts throwing out freestyle raps about whatever's going on around him, which is pretty amazing.
I also like in the Swagger match, hey, what's his name? A wild Titus O'Neil appeared.
Yep.
And they gave him a nickname. What was it? Big Deal, I think is his name.
Oh, he's the big deal? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's Titus, because I think he randomly appears. I'm like, because they start mentioning, I'm like, who the hell is that? And then someone mentions Titus, and I'm like, oh, was that Titus who walked in? Because all I saw was this massive black off the right hand of the screen. I'm like, who the fuck was that?
Racist!
And then they mentioned Titus. I'm like, okay, well, that explains the massive flag.
Anyway, speaking of
What
which...
the hell?
Yeah.
Stop calling him Massive Black.
That's Big E's nickname.
No, that's... Yeah, there you go.
I said mass of black.
That's not better. But yeah, just watching these guys go out and having some fun, getting outside the character, getting out and really, showing them how good of friends these guys are is really a lot of fun.
I know, we're going to have to delay Camp X-Pound.
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah, Jesus. So it should be known that whenever this hiatus is over, the next matches is going to be Cold Beer. It's going to take on the Big Deal. So you'll have Curtis Axel versus Titus, and in the other round we'll have the money because a couple of guys here, 4 of them got basically they skipped the first round because there weren't enough dudes. So that's Oklahoma got in directly into the second round for that, as did the champ. And Big Deal is coming into the second round to take on Cold Beer. And the Moneymaker, having taken out Mizaki, is going to take on the what is it, Golden Samurai.
Oh, is that
That is Kalisto.
Kalisto, yeah, the small one.
Yeah. So the
I
Golden
believe
Samurai,
his name is Samurai del Sol.
Samurai del Sol. Thank you. It's Sun Samurai. Fair enough. The Samurai del Sol will take on the Moneymaker, and the winner of that will face the winner of the Big Deal and Cold Beer, and that winner will face the winner of the Champ versus Oklahoma in the finals. So that should be a lot of fun when they get back into that. So do keep an eye on like all the 16 videos are on there. There's some snippet videos of great reactions of things that were happening, so you can check those out too. That's all on Up Down Down on YouTube. You can find it on there. It's good stuff. A lot of other great videos on there too if you get a chance. Just to hype them. There's a few 2K16 videos on there. Check out some of that. Host Chriz been playing through Until Dawn. That's pretty funny. There's a great reaction shot of Biggie getting scared out of his mind at the bear trap and Until Dawn. He's like falls half out of the chair.
Mhm.
So Host Chriz put that up a separate video and he put it in slow-mo. So yeah, good stuff. Go over and check out. If you want to see your favorite WWE superstars, see them hang out as actual people and not as these, ridiculous, some of these semi-ridiculous personalities. Go over and check out Up Down Down.
Mhm.
But while you're there, remember to keep it tight.
Also,
gotta do
Up Down Down now has T-shirts. WWEshop.com.
Yes, you can get yourself an Up Down Down T-shirt. WWEshop.com. Check that out. Good things. Good things.
So it's two people who said that now. Is a third going to say it?
Yes. I don't know.
Do it.
Take it away, Rick.
The thing they have to remember though, Jim, you gotta do it the best way. You gotta go, Daddy say, keep it tight. Gotta do it Big E style.
That is the best way.
Yep. Big E's hilarious on that show. But yeah, if you ever saw the Superstar Save Point with Seth Rollins, you would expect him to win Madden because he was talking about like when he was younger, he was like the best at it, and he was like a cocky little shit about it, and talks about how he was like raging one of the times as his friend was like trash talking him, and he just fucking flipped out.
No, yeah, he told him he fluffed out, and he went and he took the elbow, and he went bam right in the fucking nose.
Yeah,
Like, I didn't even
Swagger
apologize.
should
I
be
just sat down.
good. Rollins v. Swagger should be good because Swagger's really good at the game.
Is he really?
Yeah, Swagger's very good.
Because Slater's like, so have you actually played this game? And Swagger, like, he's completely stoic. He's just like, just play the game and find out. And he plays him. I swear to God, up until the fourth quarter, he's just half-assing it because he literally has like one touchdown and a bunch of field goals. Like he's not even trying until Xavier Woods comes in and is like, dude, if you get one more touchdown and a point, you can completely skunk him, right? Because the game will pity him and cut the game. And Swagger's like,
21, yeah.
and that's when he actually starts playing. Boom, touchdown.
And you're like, oh, all right, I'll do that, whatever.
He's like, oh, I can skunk him. Done.
Yeah.
Damn.
Indeed. And I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember which teams they were playing as. I'm trying to remember what teams they were.
Who, Swagger and Slater?
Yeah.
Swagger, I believe. I want to say the Niners.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Yeah, I don't remember their teams.
I just remember the ridiculous of the Miz versus whoever he was facing there, and I think it was the Miz picked the Browns and Makazi was like the Patriots and he got destroyed.
That's what you get for picking a cheating team.
Pretty much.
Yeah, but he also like sews their costumes, so you probably don't want to piss him off.
That is also true. Oh, is that who he is? He's the costume guy?
Yeah, he actually had wrestled, because I'd recommend watching the Superstar Save Point with him. That's like their newest one where they play River City Ransom.
Ah, yes.
And he talks about like how he's known Kofi for like ever and a lot of the other guys, because he actually did wrestle a little bit, but he's one of the costume guys.
Yeah, actually, there is one newer video from about 7 hours ago where they have footage of the 2K16 content creator tournament from when they got called out to play the 2K16 game. Featuring a whole variety of people, including such people as Gruesome Greggy Miller from IGN, Chris Denker, CF Pulse, Tony Pizza Guy, Loogie PS3, Tubby Emu, Sports Gaming Universe, Steven Larson, against Austin Creed, El Murpho, and Big Wall.
Yeah.
So good stuff. Go check that out. Yeah.
I also would have loved to see those people, like, legitimate reactions when they get called in to 2K to play the game. They all sit down, and then all of a sudden Xavier Woods and Biggie Langston walks in. You're just like, wait, what? It's like, yo, I'm gonna play this game too. What?
Oh, 2K Studios!
Don't
Pretty
you be
much.
sour.
Ah.
Nice.
Give it up for the two-time champions and feel unicorn magic power!
Where the hell did that come from?
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Let's go back over to Hammy.
All right. So my thing for the month, in a similar vein of just seeing people be like the wrestlers be people and not their characters. I know it's been on for a bit, but I was watching a lot of the Table for Three this month.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, that one. Those are all pretty good. I mean, I haven't seen all of them yet. Trying to like not binge watch all of them because I do really like them. And you mentioned earlier, it might have been before the recording, I can't remember, but like Miz and R-Truth and Curtis Axel. And that one's really funny because like Miz is talking about his dad, and that's why I said Keith Slater because he's like, yeah, my dad loves Kofi, and R-Truth is like, yeah, your dad really loves Kofi, and Keith Slater, and they start laughing. He's like, and I tell him it's like, no, it's Heath, and he's like, that's right, Keith Slater. And he's like, and he really liked Evan Bourne, and my dad would say to me, Mike, how come you don't do the moves like Evan Bourne? And he's like, I don't know, Dad, maybe because your genetics don't allow me to. And I was like, oh shit, these people are funny. Just seeing them, and I don't know, those are just really good. I kind of wish they were longer than
I know.
What are they, like 25, 30 minutes.
Well, also that just seems funny. What the fuck happened to Evan Bourne?
Didn't he get fired for
No,
substance abuse or?
No, last time I saw him, like he did something crazy. He got himself injured and then just never came back.
Yeah, I thought he got released during one of those spring cleans, probably because of all of his injuries.
Probably, fair enough.
Yeah. Richter, did you see the Ryback one?
Yes.
Damn right.
That was pretty good.
I mentioned that one last week. That was one of my awards because the whole I made the mistake of trying to go heel in Russia. Like, well, gee, maybe you should have changed the motion, dude.
He's like, yeah, we were sitting on the mat and I was laughing my ass off.
Like Brian said, I was that Tickler's on the mat laughing his ass off.
I like those meals for free.
Yeah. Well, the theme for this table is guys Ryback is injured.
Yep, I love
Yeah,
that they tried to change the theme as many times as we changed show formats.
Yeah. Yes.
The theme is guys who think it's ridiculous that Ryback tried to impress Brock Lesnar by taking a Cialis.
Yes.
He'll never live that one down. Anyway.
But no, if
I still laughed when I read to Marcus. Just like, what was it? Yeah, like yesterday, the day before, one of the LOL dirt sheets had breaking news. Ryback confirms Daniel Bryan is the biggest bully in WWE. When you look at it, it's just talk about the meal for free. I'm like, we already covered this. This isn't breaking news.
Not really.
What, is it a slow news day? No one's being racist or killing their family this week?
yes.
You can't blame something on Vince this week?
No, we ran out of LOL TNA stuff. No.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's would recommend people check it out if they like a lot of the behind the scenes stuff like I do. So.
Oh yeah, totally. It's a great show. Give it a shot.
Yeah, I will say the new meal for free came when I saw it was. I haven't clicked it yet. I do plan to watch that, but I was watching the other stuff first. However, I just found it weird that Curtis Axel has been back on a WWE Network or WWE TV show before Damien Sandow, and he was the one that was dressed like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what's just happened?
What's funny is they do like mention that, and I was like, I know they recorded it and they edited it and stuff, but like he starts mentioning it, and I like kind of like hunker down, like look around, like, oh, is he allowed to say that? Like I'm thinking it's live or something, and I'm just like, oh, are they gonna cut his mic? Like that's. And I'm like, no, they recorded. They're not gonna. He's not gonna just disappear in the middle. They'll just be like, wow, it's a dinner for two, and they're all like looking around, all scared.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious because they have the little fadeaways, like pseudo commercial breaks in between. That'd be hilarious. Fades away. Dinner for 3. Comes back and he's just gone.
or like Sandows.
Yeah.
He just goes, huh? And all of a sudden the Wyatt family just drags him away off screen.
Yes, and the
Yes.
lights go out.
Yeah.
And then when it's there, all 3 of the Wyatts are there instead of them.
That's
All 4 of the Wyatts.
Well, this was filmed before that, so.
True.
This was filmed just when Luke Harper was away for personal reasons.
Fair enough. Although if you get a chance, one that I didn't expect it that good. It's actually pretty good. It's one they had Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens, and Cesaro. That one's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It starts off slow at the beginning because you can tell they're trying to gauge each other, like how we're going to do this, and then they started going into stories of how they all knew each other on the indie circuit, and then it gets really good. Particularly when Cesaro starts telling stories about cars and running out of gas.
No, it seems like Dean Ambrose knows Cesaro and Kevin Owens knows Cesaro, but Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose didn't really know each other. Like
Yeah, that's what it
Cesaro was
sounded
the
like.
buffer,
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
and that kind of worked.
I actually got a newfound respect for Dean Ambrose because, as people know, I don't really like him in terms of just his character and the stuff that he does. But I found it really interesting where he's like, yeah, Ambrose is like, I try to keep the morale up of the troops, of the people in the back, try to keep them entertained when I go there too. So I always pick one thing to do and try to do it as many times as possible without, within reason. Obviously, I don't want to look like an ass. He's like, and he's like, that's kind of hard to do if you suck.
He wants to try to do the same thing repeatedly and not look like an ass. I'm pretty sure it's the rebound clothesline and he's failing.
Yeah.
No, he picks other moves. That's like his move. But like he mentioned, he might pick like a Macho Man move, and then the people in the back, the other superstars in the back who are watching the match will count how many times he does it. He's like, I'll try to slip it in here and there and see if they catch. That's kind of cool that he does that.
I heard Brock does the same thing, and he asked people, and one person said suplex, and the rest of history. I'll casually slip in there. No one will notice. 13 suplexes later.
Yeah.
Rock not good at subtlety.
No.
I like also with the one with Ambrose is they show up and Ambrose, I'm pretty sure it was him, just comes in looking normal. Like most of the people kind of dress up, and he's just like, fuck it, just comes in his street clothes, and they're like, oh, I see you dressed up, and he's like, we rented the place out. I don't think it matters.
Yeah, my favorites were the Divas one, and I loved the WCW one. WCW one more because how often do you get to see Vader without his mask and Sting without makeup just talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are 2 ones that I haven't seen yet. Strangely enough.
Yeah, I need to see that
You
too.
need to see those too. Yeah, those were really good. I love the Divas one. That was probably my favorite one.
I heard that was good.
With Alundra Blaze, Ivory, and
Molly Holly.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also love that Ivory is the one that's in the best shape. That made me laugh my ass off. I was like, wow, she's the one in the best shape. That's amazing.
Well, Ivory's the one that still wrestles.
Yeah, true.
I do like Dean Ambrose because he actually addressed it when he sat down too. Because Ambrose just came in and sat down. He was like, they dressed like, yeah. They asked me like, button down shirt. No, button down shirt. I was like, all right, whatever. Just show me whatever.
Yeah, I love these ones because they actually address that they're not in that great shape. Blah blah blah. They're still in really great shape. But Alundra Blaze actually asks, so do you guys actually work out and stuff? And Ivory goes, no. Are you kidding me? I did that shit every day. Well, I was working WWE. I ain't doing that shit now. Forget that. I ain't got time for that. I was like, wow, okay, well, you're being frank. That's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, you heard it there, folks. Once wrestlers retire and they're no longer actually wrestling, they don't work out for shit because they've been doing it for every day for their life before that.
Except for the thing, like me and Jim did, she was still wrestling like a year or 2 ago.
Okay, but since then she probably stopped working out then, because she outright said, no, I don't work out at all.
Yeah, but if it's only been a year or 2.
True.
You're not gonna suddenly go, yeah, okay, it's a year or two, and boom, I now look like Karma.
You go from you start as Batista, and then within that year you just become Kevin Owens. You just all right. So should we go into the pay-per-view then?
Sure.
I suppose we shall.
All right. So first match of Hell NSL. Okay. Was the during the pre-show we had Neville, Cesaro, and Ziggler versus Barrett, Rusev, and Sheamus. As Mole so eloquently put it, the thrown together match.
Yeah. Which I still find it weird they didn't ask Breeze to do the match.
Yep. It was one power-up extra away from being a filler.
I thought it was funny when Rusev's come in the match and they're just like, yeah, he's engaged to Lana, and I'm like, fucking really? You're just gonna okay, whatever. Thought people were rumored to be mad about it, but okay, I just say it, I guess. Fucking screwed up our storylines. Just mention it. Okay.
They were rumored to be mad that it was breaking, but they still addressed it on Raw and did all the stuff. So it's like now they can't not address it.
Yeah. That's why I found it kind of weird they didn't ask Breeze to work the match, considering they debuted Breeze on SmackDown, I believe Mole said, as Ziggler's new feuding partner, and they're like, no, we're just going to bring the guy who we just kind of cut the feud off because he went to go bone the other girl. I'm like, well, great.
Well, two things. Number one, it's SmackDown. WWE is probably aware that nobody watches SmackDown at this point, and so they wouldn't wonder what the hell he was doing there. And number two, I could see them being concerned about Breeze being ready for that level of in a pay-per-view when he hasn't even been on like Raw yet. He's only had one match on SmackDown. I could see them being concerned about him being ready for that level.
I would agree with that, Jim, except for the fact midway through the match and during Dolph's entrance, they announced multiple times that Prince Pretty or Tyler Breeze had been involved with Dolph Ziggler.
Which is fair enough. They can mention it, but that doesn't mean they still have to compete on that level yet.
No, my thought is, because it was thrown together, why waste the first two times these two are actually going to lock up on a thrown together pre-show match?
That is true. That is true.
And Breeze does have a match on Wednesday, so.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the others have a match on Monday.
True. I don't know.
That's Tuesday.
I was like, but you just debuted him as the feud, and you're not going to have the guy Dolph is feuding with fight Dolph? What the hell? That makes no sense. But it was a good match. I'll give him that. It was a pretty good match for a thrown together match.
I don't like this. I'm going to go sit in the Stardust section.
That was awesome.
That was.
Yeah, I actually thought that was a pretty good match. This still feels weird saying it, but I think Cesaro had some of the more interesting parts. I loved his running uppercut, or the uppercut express as they called it.
Yeah, Cesaro's great. He's ready to run around cleaning house.
Yeah, it was funny. He kept throwing him back. I think it was Barrett back and forth and uppercutting him, and then he went out of the ring to uppercut like everybody else.
Yeah. Then he got back in, hit the big swing.
Yeah.
I guess I never noticed it in his singles matches, his recent singles matches, but I found it kind of weird he still comes out with the pink headset. I'm like, wait, what? He still wears that thing?
I assume because on his arm, the arm sleeve thing, it said kid on it, so I'm assuming he's representing his somewhat fallen part. Yeah, it's like
pretty much.
Fallen doesn't exactly sound right, but I don't know how else to put it. So
yeah, close enough.
His broken heart.
There you go.
There you go. Also, I like how King tried to address the fact that whenever Cesaro does that move to somebody to prevent themselves from getting fucked up, they put their hands behind their head and brace. And King is like, look, Barrett's holding his head. He doesn't know where he is.
It's like, you wouldn't do that to Charlemagne. No, I'm pretty sure someone would. Just because you don't know if it happened doesn't mean no one would want to. And no one would.
Yeah.
This is insulting, Michael.
Maggle. I kept seeing it on the dirt sheets. I was like, what is Maggle? And then I eventually figured out it's how they represent him saying Michael. He's doing it, Michael. And I'm like, oh, okay, I got it.
Also, something else they addressed, completely unrelated, but they addressed during the show. Why is Michael Cole playable in the game?
What?
I don't.
They addressed it. They cut to the commentators at one point, and they were talking. They just showed a promo for the game, and Michael Cole's like, "You got over 120 people on the roster, including all the legends, including these two legends next to me, and me."
Yeah.
Does that mean he's playable, or he's just going to be commentator?
I don't know. I don't know. Given that they're trying to pad out the roster 120, and they're not going to actually put in people we want, like the 4 Horsewomen, it wouldn't shock me if they put Michael Cole in there to fuck with people.
Yeah, but they've already announced the roster, I thought, and I didn't see Michael Cole on the list.
Okay, then maybe he's not. Fair enough. Maybe he's just there for the commentary.
Yeah, it might just be he got scanned to be a commentating model.
Yeah. Also, you got to let WWE always knows how to pull it off exactly right. 3 days before, let's bring back Del Rio so the roster's incomplete.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't got to that bit yet.
Spoiler.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, because nobody watched a fucking pay-per-view. Yeah, okay.
I did.
No, it's not all over social media.
Yeah.
So people only watch reviews of stuff they've seen, Jim?
If they don't want spoilers, yes.
That wasn't the question.
Well, that was the answer.
I have a flowchart to try to figure that one out, and I'm lost.
I say that because I know Jim watches reviews of stuff he hasn't seen.
Yeah.
I watch reviews of things I haven't seen if I don't have an intent to see them.
No, I like the idea that you'd watch it and be like, I wonder what, it's like, I want to see a review of that thing I just saw. Wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people watch it, listen to us because we're entertaining.
True.
People are listening to this because we've got Rick Lesnar back.
That too.
The Ivory Tower incarnate.
Mm-hmm.
The
Ivory City.
Nice.
He is
the Ivory
one,
Beast. It's always about color with you, jeez.
He is the one in One kicked the crap out of Marcus, stole his pizza and left his house. Rick Lesnar.
Okay then.
Fact.
Right.
The market taker.
Yeah, you're to face the market take. I was gonna say the undercog, yeah, but that works too.
All right, so I guess that's it for the pre-show, unless anyone had anything else to add.
Well, there was the Dudleys on social media, which was funny.
That was funny.
You know.
I like the beginning of it where I don't know who the interviewer was, but he messed up and Bubba goes, "We're the Dudley Boys."
That's Tom Phillips. He's the social media guy.
Yeah, when you asked them their thoughts on the Dudley Boys, and they're like, "We are the Dudley Boys."
It's hilarious because he just finished introducing them as the Dudley Boys.
It should have
He
been
was
like,
nervous.
the Dudley Boys are the greatest tag team ever.
He was nervous being that close to a reverend.
He was watching out for the donation box thing. He was like, I know who holds that.
Be a star, kids. Don't bully. WWE now recently hires back Bully Ray. Wait, what?
Now that you mentioned the donation box, like now all I have in my head is Drax the Destroyer walking out with the donation box around his neck.
I will say I did like Bully Ray.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna team up with Blue Tista to make Blu-ray as a team?
Nice.
No, they'll just be managed by Blue Pants.
Oh. They rumored to have gotten rid of her. Sad.
Oh, I'm sad.
It's hell. In
I like-
hell.
I like Blue Pants, but
I know, I did too.
pay-per-view.
Silence for Blue
Okay.
Pants.
So yeah.
Richter, give us a monologue about hell.
Well, it's called Laird the Phoenix.
Heyo. Didn't I put that in cards once?
I think you did, yes. Nice.
All right, so the first was John Cena's open challenge, setting history, or whatever he said. Challenge
First
for the
ever
belt.
open challenge on
Yeah.
on a pay-per-view. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was I the only one who was expecting Oklahoma when Zeb Coulter came out?
I think that was the point. Is everybody because he came out to that music and everything? I think everybody was supposed to expect Jack Swagger so that they could Russo swerve you in.
I was expecting Jack Swagger for about 10 seconds.
Mm.
The only reason I say about 10 seconds is the second Jack Swagger didn't come out with him and he kept going forward, I'm like, it's going to be someone else.
Mm.
Because Jack Swagger at this point, as much as I like Swagger, he's not that big a name to bring back in a major revealing way. Like, oh my god, the guy who's always with Jack Swagger now has Jack Swagger. Whoa, my mind's blown.
Well, first he comes out, and I was just like, I was like, Jack Swagger? No, it can't be. That wouldn't have any impact. Like, then why is he here? What the hell?
Yeah.
What it threw me off for a second was it took me a second to recognize the music when it hits. I'm like, I know that music. And then before I saw who was on it, I saw the scooter. I'm like, wait, is that John Laurinaitis?
Yes.
And then he came forward. I'm like, oh no, it's Coulter. I went, why is Coulter on a scooter?
It's me, John. I'm gonna fight you.
Yeah.
At first, when he started to come out like that, I thought, oh, cool, Swagger. I was hoping, obviously, Swagger would get a push, but then he kept going forward. I'm like, oh, okay. It's not Swagger.
Yeah. Is Coulter injured or something? Is that why he's on the scooter?
I believe Jerry Lawler mentioned during the match that Coulter had been out for a long time with a leg injury.
Ah, fair enough.
So whether that's a legit leg injury or whether that's how they wrote him out and he's now selling it, I don't know. Given that they went through all for getting a scooter, I'm assuming he legitimately has a leg injury.
Fair enough.
That would be the case if you hadn't mentioned the fact Laurinaitis.
Touche.
They could already have a scooter just lying around.
That is possible. That is possible.
Now I'm picturing Vince be like, I know, we're gonna bring out this guy and we're gonna have Coulter, and he just looks all dramatic, slams his hands on the desk, and he's like, bring me the scooter. Some poor intern then has to go get it.
Yeah. Now imagine they bring it out. It's like that, the fanfare during the filming of Attack of the Clones when they brought out the Darth Vader helmet.
Only one of the people there doesn't quite understand what he's saying, probably, and mishears him just slightly and brings out Doug's blue friend.
Nice.
I figured it was topical.
It is.
This topical, kids, go check out the Splat Block. 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. every night on Teen Nick.
And as alluded to earlier, who he brought out was eternal rival of the Crispy, who was probably happy to see Alberto.
I made a comment with that when he came out when we watched. I was like, "Oh my god, you'll be happy, Crispy. Why? Well, when they put him in for next year's game, your universe won't quite feel so empty now." Then I also made the joke, like I mentioned to Marcus during it, of wait a minute, last year he was fired and we had way too many Del Rios in that game. This year he's hired and we don't get one.
They brought balance to the force.
Yeah. The Goldilocks syndrome. This game has too many Del Rios. This one hasn't got enough Del Rios. This one's just right.
I kind of wish there were measuring sticks like that. This one has too many Triple H's. What? Shut up. Just sit down. Triple H looks all somber, like too many Triple H's.
This one has too many Triple H's, to which Triple H goes, wait a minute, you think what I'm thinking? What's that? Terrorizing DLC?
Nice.
Oh, shit.
I believe based on the video that was put out, I believe this year it's too many canes.
Yeah.
Quick, get me my blade-free costume.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah, as I said to Mole while we were watching, when Del Rio first came out, I basically turned into Stone Cold Steve Austin. Because all I kept saying was, wait, what? What? What?
I do like how they sold it as the former arch enemies, the patriotic American Zeb Coulter and the immigrant Alberto Del Rio working together. That's going to be interesting how they play that out.
I think they play that out. We're going to play that out with the fact that when he came out, he was like, well, I've learned America's changed now, and now it's all about tolerance. And Giving people equal opportunities.
Mhm.
Boo this man. Boo.
Yeah, it's because of people like him. We have totally awesome Hulk.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, the thing is, on the little dirt sheets, they did say like, oh, Del Rio might come back. So like, we came back, I was like, oh shit, I didn't think it was, if you believe him, I didn't think it'd be like now.
Yeah, that came out.
Yeah, I mentioned it's probably because they did a clever thing with that.
Mhm.
They mentioned he was due back and stuff, but straight afterwards, Del Rio went round everyone telling them that, yeah, I met with WWE, but I told them straight, I'm only gonna go back if it's WrestleMania.
Ah,
Mhm.
nice.
So you're like, oh, okay, he's probably gonna be back for this year's WrestleMania. And then when he comes out, I'm like, yay, Del Rio!
Yeah.
And for some reason, his face looked a little less like AC Slater.
A little bit. Although am I the one as cool and as great as to have Alberto back, but am I the one who was kind of saying, I mean, the Zeb Cole thing's gonna be interesting. But am I the one who was really sad, like John Cena wasn't like, if they were gonna do that, who really wanted John Cena to be like, you want some, come get some, have it be silent for a few minutes, then just have Ricardo Rodriguez just silently walk out into the stage, just grinning like a Cheshire cat.
Except didn't they fire him too?
And that would have gave it away way more than his music hitting.
It would have, but still, I like the. That's still one of like, oh my god, can it be? Can it be? And that's still Rio's music is.
Plus, this way is going to build to something amazing.
How so?
This year's WrestleMania, it's going to be the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, against the man that took away John Cena's title. While at ringside, Paul Heyman will be running around the ring as he's being chased on a scooter as Benny Hill music plays.
Nice.
There'll even be a
Right.
part where he goes underneath the ring, and then like a Scooby-Doo cartoon suddenly appears up like through the announce table, and like, oh, now he's in the crowd, trying to get away from him.
That'd be awesome. Make it happen.
That'd be hilarious.
No, I didn't even.
Reality with cartoon physics.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really buy it was Del Rio until he actually came out. Like, I heard the music, and I was like, okay, they have his music, they put up his Titantron. But I'm like, nah, he wouldn't come back now. And he walked out, I'm like, oh shit, he's actually there.
Mhm.
See, I bought it because while I really do like Del Rio. Del Rio is cool. However, not big enough for that to be a massive troll move. It's not like Shawn Michaels playing Brett's music for the Canadians. It'd be playing a guy's music who the crowd may not even really care about too much.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, if they're gonna, I was thinking, okay, if he's there, great, because that'd be just out of nowhere. Not, I mean, I would probably show up the rest of the card, but still. But I was thinking, okay, even if it's not there, we're in LA. Let's play The Rock's music to fuck with people. Cause like we're in LA, we're right near Hollywood. People would believe that The Rock would randomly show up, even if he's not wrestling. They believe he'd show up to introduce somebody to wrestle. But like, oh, there's no Rock. Fair enough. I think about like that'd be a great match, but that would probably take some of the a Sun Rock versus Cena Full would probably take some of the attention off of the Lesnar Taker match. I'm like, fair enough, they won't do that.
Also, The Rock appeared nicely when it doesn't involve either something to try and help up his family or to promote a film. Are you high?
I know.
Well,
I didn't say he wouldn't also promote a film. Because I'm pretty sure what's he got coming up. I saw a commercial for him in something. What the hell's he in now? I don't remember. Whatever.
He is in that new hit show, Ballers.
He's in Ballers.
Which wasn't nominated for 7 People's Choice Awards.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yep. It's even more impressive I had to drop that little television bomb on the TV guy. But
San Andreas. That's the movie The Rock's in. The fucking that natural disaster movie just came out on DVD.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's been out for a little while.
Yeah.
So I always remember like a couple of weeks back when I was talking to Marcus, but I've been like every time I see him, like, oh yeah, the GTA film. Oh wait, no, it wasn't a GTA film.
It should be a GTA film. That'd be would have been way more entertaining.
But I did like this.
Yeah, CJ.
But I did like this match.
Indeed.
This match was good.
I just laughed at the announcers. I swear, like at least 3 times, we're like, he's in really good shape. I'm like, he's been wrestling. I mean, I know you're not gonna, you guys aren't gonna, not you guys, but like the announcers, like, I know you guys aren't gonna like mention where, but I just found it funny that, wow, he's in good shape. Like he just fucking disappeared after he was fired and never did anything. Like he was in a dimensional fucking pocket. Just showed up. Wow, you're still breathing. Yes.
I will say, to be fair, that's what the audience is like. Because how many people, including not me or you, people in this podcast, were shocked at what great shape the Dudleys were in when they returned, despite being in TNA, wrestling constantly. One even made it to main event as Bully Ray.
Yep.
Was that Devon?
Yeah. Also, I did like how they tweaked Del Rio's character to be a little more down to earth. He wasn't wearing a fancy neck scarf. He didn't come out in a fancy car.
The recession's hit people pretty hard this year.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, he traded in his sports car and instead bought himself Yosemite Sam on a scooter.
There you go.
Yes.
Who hasn't done that before?
That's can that be in the game? Is like that going to be in the My Career mode? If you get enough money, you can buy Yosemite Sam on a scooter, and then if you get up to main event and make more, then you can get the car and your own personal ring announcer.
There you go.
No, they cost the same amount.
Oh.
You have to pick and choose which one.
There you go.
Oh.
The car makes you more accessible to the authorities. They're like, oh yeah, this is the type of champion we'd want for that authority BioWare style morality meter. But if you choose the other one, you might get more fan appreciation, but the authority aren't going to take you seriously.
Bro.
Oh my god, he's just like us. We also buy old people on scooters to come out so we can come down to the ring and beat up Superman. He's like the common man. He's the next Dusty Rhodes.
He's a common man.
See, if they wanted to do something awesome and tie it into a relevant event from a few days ago, what they should have done was they should have had Del Rio show up in a DeLorean and then act like that's where he's been. He hasn't been there. He just showed from the end of his last run to now because he knew he knew that they didn't have anything for him.
No, Jim. No, you son of a bitch. I've tolerated a lot of stuff on this show, but how dare you bury Zack Ryder's time traveling gimmick? Now, if Zack Ryder was to have been driving the car and he got out with him, fair enough.
Yes! Holy shit, that would be great.
That'd be great.
I kind of like the idea that he was like, that he traveled through time, but it just fucking seals it if Zack Ryder was in the car.
Mm-hmm. Zack Ryder goes back in time to get people to do the open challenge. That would be amazing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Then a curtain pulls back and you see that the car is connected by a cord to Edge and Christian's phone booth.
But yeah, it was good. It was a pretty good match.
I like that match.
It was a good back and forth match. Those two have always put on pretty good matches, though.
And like I said, it's good seeing Alberto back, and it's also good that the crowd actually responded to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was also cool that he beat Cena because, like I said, I liked Alberto, but like I said, when I was watching SmackDown, it was like him v like Randy Orton constantly, and every time he was on action when he was on SmackDown, the crowd actually respected him and stuff. And it's like, I kind of wanted him to go further, but for some reason the crowd were just not buying into him. Some people have argued he was you could argue like him, and yeah, there was other people, but we're not going to mention them because they've been erased from history, that were a little ahead of their time, because like Del Rio, he's that person that when he comes to the ring, he may not be the best speaker, even though he's pretty awesome at speaking, but what he brings to the ring in ring ability, a lot of people were like, but now NXT's arrived, where they've got people in there who aren't, not all of them, but some aren't good speaking, but you can put on a good match, people will watch it. So it's like, you know what I mean? Now that the audience is shifting a bit, it could be Del Rio's time to go forward.
Also, they gave him a mouthpiece, which will help too.
His time is up. His time is now.
Yeah, but he's had mouthpieces before.
Yeah, that's true.
True.
He has a better one.
Yeah, and I think the crowd was at least behind him, because at the part where we started doing the, I think it was the chops, he got the CCC reaction out of the crowd.
Yeah, he
That's when he
did.
was, that's when he was gearing up to do the
Oh, he's gonna do the cross arm breaker, right?
Yeah, and like I said, it was good that the crowd were responding to him during the match. That's what I'm like. I like that, and I'm expecting big things from W.
And the
I find it interesting that the crowd remembered that he did that way back when he fought Daniel Bryan. Like,
yeah,
wow, what happened to the WWE like 3-month rule? What the fuck?
That's
yeah,
WWE's rule, not the people's rule.
yeah.
Hence, we always make fun of it, and hence, but you can look in the crowd and you can always see like an Austin T-shirt or an NWO T-shirt.
Yep.
I was disappointed he didn't pull out the cross arm breakers. I was like, oh, I wanted to see him use it.
Yep.
It's building. It's building. Camaro lock versus cross arm breaker
There you go.
There you go.
versus Walrus.
Yes.
WrestleMania.
And Yosemite Sam, don't forget that.
Yeah, I knew that. And if you want demonstration markers about the 3-month, well, you see, people in the audience remember CCC, you see an Austin sign or an NWO sign. But when the WWE is showing you history of a feud that's been going for 13 years, it only actually goes back to WrestleMania. It's still more than 3 months, but it's still, not actual history.
Right.
So. Now, I did like how the commentators made sure to talk Del Rio up to make sure people remember who he is. Oh yeah, he was here for a long time. Won these championships. His finisher, he's working, seeing his arm for his patented finisher, that rolling cross arm breaker. They really talked him up. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, which that makes sense because I've mentioned that in the past. Well, some stuff when they're doing that, I'm like, yeah, I remember this. There is always part of me that's like, I can understand why you're doing this because at the end of the day, every pay-per-view is someone's first pay-per-view.
Yep.
True.
Just not Tyler Breeze's.
Hell, every match, period, is someone's first match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as I said, first pay-per-view. Every pay-per-view is someone's first pay-per-view, as in their first chance seeing it. So it's like, oh, cool, this is their first pay-per-view. They may not have seen all the other ones that they're referencing.
Yep.
True. Yeah, next match.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
All right, next match was the Wyatt versus Roman Reigns one. Bray Wyatt.
Hell in a cell.
Yeah.
I like this match.
Yeah, this was a pretty good match. Yeah.
It was a good match.
Allowed me to answer my son when he's like, when are they going to wrestle inside the cage? And I was like, well, at some point in the night. He's like, I want to see that one. I'm like, okay, I get it.
When your son's like, when they get wrestled inside the cage, did you pick him up and go, oh my god, you remember all the way back to when cages used to have a lid on them before Vince took that same concept and made it Hell in a Cell? And a boy, and hug him.
Why would I hug him?
Why did I hug him? For remembering history.
He doesn't know.
Then it's just a coincidence.
It is. Dun, dun, dun.
There are no coincidences.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like I said, I like this match. I thought this match was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I was
well,
expecting more attempts at interference during it.
Yeah. I have expected the lights to go out and all the Wyatts just be in the cell.
I expected either something like that or for them to come out and try and do the door with the chain on, and then like Ambrose to come out and start beating them up, and you know what I mean, like a big brawl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not with anyone going through the cell or anything like that, but just with the door being unchained and then a brawl.
Yeah.
But what we got instead was actually a pretty good match.
Indeed.
It was weapons for the sake of it, as Jim said, for a little bit, but that's the match type. Like I said, it's okay every now and again to do weapons for the sake of it, as long as that's not all you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like
the fact their last match wasn't like that means this one's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did like how the match opened and Bray Wyatt did a great impression of the Sandman. He got thrown on, he got his ass kicked, and then he pulled out a kendo stick, and then he was effective.
Ah.
A Singapore cane, I should say.
And then Reigns was like, I see your Singapore cane and raise you a second Singapore cane. This is super effective.
Mm-hmm.
I also like Reigns' counter to the Sister Abigail. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, whoa, what did he just do?
Or he like fell down and rolled him up.
Yeah, or he like,
I love
like
the Yeah. Sorry.
Now, I will say the referee for this match needs to be fired.
Okay.
I assume you all saw it. Allow me to take you back. Reigns has the pinfall on Bray. 1, 2. Bray kicks out and throws Reigns right into the ref, and the ref just gets up. In fact, if any referee worth his fucking salt would be in a coma at that point. Being knocked unconscious when a wrestler barely touches you is your bread and butter as a referee.
When he actually hit the ref, I was like, and then like the ref just stood up. I was like, oh, I guess he wasn't supposed to. Like I kind of had that reaction first. I was like, ah, shit, he hit the ref.
Yeah, and when he gets up, you're like,
hey,
wait,
I expect differently, and I'm like, no.
When
Yeah.
he stands up, you're like, wait, is this the ultimate referee?
Yes.
There you go.
He hit Prestige 5.
Yeah,
He has all the skills.
he does.
Then all they took out the ref. Wait a minute. Why would they take out the ref? It's not a DQ match.
Doesn't matter. Because if they take out the ref, he can't count the pins.
That's true.
I like I don't know if anyone else thought this was funny, but when after, as Marcus said, when he got out of the Sister Abigail, and Lawler was just like, that's the most, or like the most amount of, or was it some kind of like, that's the most we will see out of Reigns or something like that. And then he's like, for this match. Like he totally sounded like he was unintentionally insulting him, that he had like no moves or whatever. It was just funny. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And I did like that spear, like I said, off the apron into the table.
Yes.
Mainly because that looked vicious as hell, because I'll admit, part of me thought, ooh, is Bray injured? A little bit, because it looked like Bray's head just fucking banged into the table. Like,
Yeah, especially
head on a headboard.
especially when they did the replay of it. I was like, ooh. Because they were like talking it up like he was like injured and stuff, and like it was all vicious, and it was like a blink and you'll miss it kind of thing. And then they did the replay with the slow mo, and I was like, ooh, did Bray just get fucked up?
Yeah. And then when he was fine, I was like, okay. But it looked like he just hit his head a little awkwardly, like, boom. I was like, ooh.
Oh, I was almost afraid that Roman Reigns had hurt himself, because the way he did it when he angled himself down to do the spear, it looks like he drove his own head through the table into the ground. I was like, ooh. Like, ow. And Reigns just probably like, nope, I'm fine.
Yeah, see, I thought Reigns was okay because you see his arm go up a little bit before he does, so I'm like, okay, he braced himself. But Bray's, you actually see his head just smack into the solid table.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that's not good.
The new back of the head of fear.
Yeah.
Also, what was that, like, I don't know, that Army of Two mask that Bray was wearing? I don't remember him having that face mask thing.
That's his pay-per-view mask.
Well, yeah, I didn't remember that. Maybe he had it last time. I don't remember him wearing it. I'm like, wait, why is he wearing an Army 2 mask? Army of Two mask?
Yeah, he's worn that mask at pay-per-views before. That's like his pay-per-view entrance mask.
So he goes from the poor man's devil to fucking terrorist when it comes to pay-per-view?
To be fair, his gimmick is like for lack of a better term, like hillbillies. It's that type of stereotype that you see in those types of films, like the sheep masks and stuff. And a lot of them have the things where they pull like the bandana stuff like over the mouth, gangster style. So it makes sense that he's doing it that way, because whenever you see someone with that like bandana type scarf thing over the mouth, part of you always does get a little bit edgy, because you're like, ooh, because it has that gang look to it, and that's what he's trying to invoke.
Fair enough. Worked.
Oh, insert joke about Rick being bald because no material.
What? Talk about out of nowhere.
Okay, something about Jim that's mean.
There you go. Something, something, Golden Sex Dungeon, something, something. Yeah, pretty good match.
Enjoyed this match.
It was.
Glad the feud's finally over. Moving on.
Or is it?
Dun, dun, dun.
Or is it?
Oh,
More on that later, but is it?
All right. So next up was the tag team champion match with the New Day versus the Dudley Boys. And first off, that intro, I thought that was funny. Although there was a part of me that's like, Caucasian Kamala? That's racist.
yeah.
Because you couldn't be like, oh man, he's like a black this. Then people be like, whoa, wait. But, yeah. So, just to be fair and balanced.
But they already did that. They brought in a black John Cena.
I know,
Yeah,
but you can't say that.
Yeah, it's basically like referring to someone as a massive black. Who the hell does that?
I know. People that stay in the tool section, you know what I'm saying?
What was that, Marcus, brother?
Markomania.
I'm here to show you the light, brother.
No.
He said oy vey. I think he's trying to hate Jews too.
Oh my god.
But anyway. No, I like this tag team match. Will say,
Yeah.
I wish the commentators weren't like they are. I know we may address this all the time, but I'm sorry, when Kofi was trying to cheat to win Eddie Guerrero style,
That was awesome.
it was annoying that the commentators were acting like it was a nasty thing to do. But when you see Eddie do it in any of the past stuff, because he was face, it was genius and shows his intelligence. I'm like, oh, come on, you're kind of ruining the moment a little bit. Just I say kind of, because like Richter said, I still liked the moment. It was funny. I wish it actually counted. I wish the ref had rang the bell at that point, because I think that would have been a better ending.
That would have been good. Which reminds me, I want to do one thing. In honor of our fallen brother, Xavier Woods. Nice.
Yeah.
It's a trombone icon for those who don't know Google Hangouts.
But that just sounded like you went wah wah because he was injured. Because the black man's injured. Wah wah. You've been hanging around with Marcus way too long.
No, I did it because the loudmouth was injured, not the black man.
They're the same man.
You know, I see the loudmouth. I don't see color.
But no, it's a case of, like I said, I thought if the ref had rang the bell, that would have been a better ending. Because the ending we got, I'm like, you've basically just accomplished the same thing as what you were doing a second ago of, they cheat to win using the trombone. But in a typical same way we see every single fucking week with, a heel's used a weapon. Whereas if you'd actually done that and made the bell ring, that would have been funny. They could have then talked about that on Raw, about using their intelligence and how, and using all that stuff, and how with the power of positivity they overcame the table poachers with their minds, not with violence. But clonk him on the back of the head with a weapon.
I didn't like this match because I didn't think it was that good. The match was okay. It wasn't terrible, but I hated the ending because they didn't commit. It was like either you ring the bell at that point and you end the match with that controversy, or if you end up doing what the ref did, which, if you want to talk about a ref that should be fired, that ref for not doing his goddamn job. Because there is no excuse for the ref not to ring the bell at that point. But if he's not going to do that, then you've got to commit to the Dudleys winning. The Dudleys have to win at that point. You can't just turn around and still have the New Day win with the same thing. No. It's like, no, at that point you're committed to the Dudleys winning at that point. You either have the New Day win there or you commit to the Dudleys winning. But they didn't commit to fucking anything. Oh, such a terrible end to that match.
Yeah, that's what I said. I hated that. It should have ended when the ref went to ring the bell. He should just rang it. It would have been funny.
Yeah, but then we would have gotten to see Bubba Ray do the Biggie gyrations.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it's no Kane doing what's up.
That's true. As I was watching pay-per-view, I was reading some things online, and somebody made a very valid point that I had thought about. Should the was up not be an automatic disqualification for being a low blow?
No.
It's a half disqualification for each person.
Yeah, I'd make the case of no because it's part of their moveset. It's like logically a closed fist is supposed to be a disqualification, but yet you see people do it as part of their moveset all the time.
True.
Therefore, I'm thinking the ref's like, yeah, I'll allow it. But
Fair enough.
I still love that moment of "Where's Up" from Kane. Still hilarious.
Still hilarious. Totally.
Tell
I
me
would
you
say-
remember that, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I would say if that's the case, then should the Shattered Dreams not be considered a disqualification? 'Cause
It is. It's why he doesn't use it anymore.
But I know. I'm just saying it shouldn't be under Mole's logic because that's Goldust's finishing move. It's part of his moveset.
It's not only that;
If
it's
the-
the greatest finishing move.
It is.
Yeah.
But if the Shattered Dreams is considered illegal to use, then why is the What's Up headbutt not considered illegal to use? It's the same thing except with your head instead of your foot.
Why, when Shawn Michaels was injured, did he have to give up his title after 30 days? When Daniel Bryan's injured? No! It's almost like WWE constantly changes the rules. But, like I said, under your logic then, Marcus, why can The Rock use an actual fist?
Because he spit on it first?
Yeah, not when he has the open palm, when he's
Oh.
doing the dump before it. Like, sometimes before it, he'll actually close his hand. It's like, but closing your hand's meant to be illegal.
He's being on the top rope for over 5 seconds, which still mystifies me.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's WWE logic.
It is. It would be funnier if they played on some of that shit. 'Cause I know there was one time where JBL actually did it. I remember it was just a while back. I don't remember when it was, but there was some kind of thing that happened regarding a match ended with some kind of a controversial rule violation, and I don't know what he expected, but JBL, I guess the face got the beneficial side of whatever the controversy was, and JBL was going livid. And at one point, JBL goes, "This is a travesty. Where's Jack Tunney?" And I'm like, that would be hilarious every time there was these violations of old rules that nobody uses anymore. If JBL started bitching about it and asking where Jack Tunney was, that would be hilarious.
That would be.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's like Money in the Bank seems to change every fucking year.
Yes, they gotta be on their feet. No, they don't.
Yeah. One year they don't have to. One year it's just any time. Then it's only if the champion's on their feet and they've had enough time for them to then ring the bell. And suddenly no. And it's yeah. And it's no. And it's like, make up your mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is true.
Yep. But yeah, like I said, the match was cool. Back to Rick.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have the Divas Championship match of Charlotte v. Nikki.
This
was
match
great.
was fucking awesome.
It was a good match.
This match was fucking awesome, and it goes into what I mentioned during the last few stuff with the Divas as well. Of even the ending was perfect.
Mhm.
You didn't see Charlotte cry, and it furthered the storyline because Paige was constantly getting in the way of fucking Becky all the time. Like, no, she's mine. Like, there's more to that. It's gonna go somewhere. That's cool.
That was weird.
The actual quality of the match was fucking awesome. It's probably the best Divas match we've seen for fucking ages.
It was. I was kind of surprised that Brie and Alicia didn't come out to comfort Nikki after the loss.
Yeah.
I was the only one. Fair enough.
Yeah, I assume not because I was like, she's gonna leave, go up the ramp, and then let Charlotte celebrate.
Fair enough.
Yeah, the whole Page thing was weird, but fair enough. It was a good match. I will have to disagree with Mole. I would not say it's the best Divas match we've seen in a while. I still like the Sasha Bailey stuff. I think was better.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this was still a great match, and it's probably the best Divas match we've had off the main roster in a long time. I'll give it that. Like this is how the actual title match should have ended instead of her just straight out going for the goddamn figure eight. It's like she went for it And it was like, oh, my back. And I'm like, okay, you sold it. That's great. That's how it should have been the first time.
Yeah, and you also have stuff like Nikki picking up and slamming her on the outside onto the side of the ring. Awesome.
Alabama slam under the
On
apron.
the
That
apron,
was
yeah,
awesome. That was the highlight of the match. That was
Damn straight.
I was like,
I was
that
like-
was cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, that looks awesome. And like I said with the other ones, it's still cool if people like the NXT Divas matches. I thought the first Sasha v Bailey match was cool.
Okay then.
Fair enough.
Now for this match.
Yeah, but I was just saying I thought this one did the stuff right, like I said the first Sasha v Bailey one did.
Gotcha. Yeah, this match was okay.
Yep.
Definitely not the best one though we've seen.
Nope.
Yeah, I like this match. It was a good match. Like I said, it was better than the actual title match. I thought the actual title match was shit compared to this one. I was like, wow, this one should have been the title match. This was actually good.
Oh, speaking of which, Rick,
Yes.
that was your cue to move us on to the title match.
Ah, okay. So, I gotcha. I wasn't sure if people were done. Okay, so now the WWE Championship match of Rollins v. Demon Kane.
I still don't understand how there's an
was
argument about them being the same person when they have the same name.
People can have the same name.
I know, but a name like Kane, and they both happen to be in the WWE. Come on, and they're
How
both
did John
Raw.
Cena fight John Laurinaitis? They're the same person.
Oh, I would make the case, Jim, of yes, they're the same person to everyone, but the idea isn't that when they're not the same person, the idea is whether or not Kane knows they're the same person or whether or not he's actually got split personality.
Ah,
I can't believe you had to explain that to him, Mole.
I couldn't tell which way they were going with it. If it was, oh, he has split personality or whatever. I don't know. It was.
I'm pretty sure it's the split personality because every opportunity they've had, every other person said to him, "No, you're the same person."
True.
Yes.
It'd be kind of funny if they go that route, and then one night you see him in the back with that telephone, and he dials a number, and it just picks up, and you just hear him. It's Mick Foley. He's like, Mick, I got a problem. I think you have some experience with this. Can you give me any advice?
See, I want them to do what Mole and I were talking about before. I want them to do it now, which would be kind of interesting. Where now that Kane's lost, he'll probably like snap and stuff. I want them to do the Green Goblin thing now with his mask, where the mask now starts talking to him. And it's like, we will have our revenge. I think that'd be awesome.
I'll make the case there is no corporate Kane anymore.
True, but there's still. But just because he's no longer corporate doesn't mean he isn't there. They could have decorporatized corporate Kane, like sitting at home, and then like the mask one's like, wait, why is that here? What the hell?
Huh.
And then it just starts talking to him like Green Goblin. So I think that'd be awesome.
But I will say the match accomplished what it needed to. It wasn't
it was
the best match, but it was still a pretty cool match.
Indeed.
We got another victory for Seth over a big name that he can then be fueled by to get over. Like, oh my god, he just beat the Demon Kane, not CEO Kane or whatever the fuck Kane. He beat Demon Kane. That makes him a little bit more legitimate.
It does, and it also during that match, if you notice, they also booked the next feud for Demon Kane. Did you see?
Mm-hmm.
It's Demon Kane versus the Spanish announce table. You see how that thing was like, no, bitch, I ain't breaking. I'm falling over.
Yeah, that made me go, oh god, because like Rollins did it perfectly. He threw Kane right in the middle of the table, and it just, boom. And I was like, ooh.
It's setting up for Orton to come back as a table.
Yeah.
When Spanish announce table gets fired for not doing its job, Orton is a table.
Nice.
Yay. But yeah, I'm assuming the table was supposed to break and didn't.
I was assuming it was supposed to break and didn't, but I was assuming based on when Seth did it, it looked like there wasn't enough force to break the table because it was like a really sloppy powerbomb, like onto it, like gently placing him.
Yeah, it looked like either Kane didn't jump or Rollins didn't have the strength to get Kane up high enough for the impact.
Oh, we'll get to stuff like that in the next match.
I assume Kane jumped high enough because he was still up in the air. It was just a case of the impact down wasn't the quick dung. It was more like, which I understand because he was also selling his injury at the same time. So
yeah.
Also, it looked like he hit more on the edge. So
yeah, that's also what it looked like.
Yeah, if he was like a couple inches toward the announcers, I think it probably would have.
Yeah.
Because to me, it looked like Rollins dropped him across the table, so his back, or Kane's back, literally went across the center of the table. Which I'm like, yeah, that's where you want to land if you're trying to break the table. You want him to go right down the center of the table. It's like he hit it, and the table just kind of tilted over, and I was like, oh, it didn't break.
I think it's like it's probably a combo of both. Like, A, he probably didn't have enough power, and B, when he put him down near that corner, it made the announce table tip to that side, because if he was in the middle, it wouldn't tip because balance.
Well, his back was across the center, but his legs were like off the front, which is why all the weight was on the front, because all his legs were over there.
Yeah, which, like Victor said, that's the part where he hit. It looked like first, because the table started to go over as Kane's back landed. At least that's how it looked like to me, anyway.
See, that's what I thought too until they showed the replay and it actually showed how he went down. I think part of it was because Rollins came down at an angle as opposed to straight, like lateral to the table. Mm-hmm. But Kane's back, the center and small of his back, literally went right down into the center of the table. But because he was across the table instead of on the table, all of his leg weight was toward the front of the table. That's what caused it to tip. But I was like, okay, well, he hit him in the center of the table, so he tried to compensate for the fact he was coming down at an angle, and he compensated perfectly, because that's where you want to hit it, right in the center of the table, because that's the break point of a table, of how they set it up. But the table just didn't break, and I was like, ooh. And I think it's because his shoulders and the really small back, like the bottom part of his back, hit the edges of the table, so the meat of his back and his like lower shoulders didn't actually hit the center with the force, and so it didn't break. It was like across the table. It was like, oh god. It's like, oh, Kane, you're hurt now. But yeah, that was an okay match.
Yeah, I like the tiger knees that he hit him with, where he like bounded over the rope and off the top rope and stuff.
No. I'm still surprised they actually let him continue to do that after he broke Cena's nose with that.
That's exactly why. All the Smarks love it.
Yeah.
Although I guess with Kane he has a little bit of protection because he wears a mask.
Yeah, it also make the case of how many times has he done it and how many noses has he broke.
Yeah.
True.
I mean, they let... yeah.
Yeah, it's like like Owen Hart did the pile driver to Austin, injured him. Could still do pile drivers because it was one out of how many?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every wrestler at least messes up a move at least once.
Yeah, I was gonna say Samoa Joe is still allowed to do his muscle buster.
Exactly.
But did they ban the pile driver after Owen did that?
No. Well, he did a tombstone one. That was a problem.
Yeah, and the one when they banned it, it was after that they started to ban it when kids were doing it in playgrounds, and a kid got like a broken neck.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So they were like, let's make sure people don't do that. So it then got reserved for only Undertaker and Kane to do it because they're like, oh, we can't take away their finisher.
I know. Owen didn't do the tombstone. He did the actual full sit down, even though Austin explicitly told him not to.
I think they were talking about when it was banned. It was when Owen tried to do the tombstone to somebody and fucked it up.
Okay.
I wasn't saying it was banned because of Owen.
Oh, my.
I just mentioned the Owen injury in Austin one, of like Jim mentioned, which, like I said, it happened once, and he was still allowed to do it afterwards until the move got banned. And like Victor mentioned, the one that Samoa Joe does, it's still allowed.
Has he injured someone doing the muscle buster?
Yeah. Whereas Tyson Kidd.
Oh, I didn't know that's how he got injured. Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yes. So on to the next match, I assume.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So next we have the IC champ match, Owens v Ryback.
Wind down match.
Yeah, that's what I know. This was definitely that match.
And this is why you don't put Owens against Ryback, because Ryback can't fucking jump.
Yeah, but they kind of had to because they needed to put the title on someone.
But that was complete shit. And I completely blame Ryback for this, because Ryback could not jump high enough for Owens to grab him properly to get enough force. Owens literally had nothing to grab onto because Ryback couldn't jump for shit. So his pop-up powerbomb looked sloppy as hell.
Yep.
Because if Ryback had jumped up high enough, Owens would have the right place to grab him around him. Just kadoom. But Owens couldn't reach that high because Ryback didn't jump high enough.
Yeah, it's sad, but the one to Mark Henry looked better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the one to Mark Henry suffered from a similar thing.
Yeah.
But god damn it, Mark Henry tried, and it looked better.
Yeah. Ryback was like, fuck it, no.
Ryback injure someone or mess something up? No, he never messes anything up.
Yeah, you're silly, Marcus.
Ryback's the best technical wrestler of all time.
He's the best one.
The other thing, too, is it looked like Ryback didn't jump forward far enough so that Owens could actually grab him, because it looked like Owens barely grabbed him. And it looked more like a spine buster than a powerbomb. I was like, wait, what?
Or, I will go with the other route and say, Marcus, aren't you Asian?
Mm-hmm.
So isn't it really racist of you to say the white man can't jump? I mean, we all tolerated it back when the film came out, but come on, let some stereotypes die, man.
I believe
True.
Neville would say, what?
He doesn't jump, just gravity doesn't know he exists.
Yeah.
Ah!
It's totally different.
I believe Kane says hi.
Which one?
Yeah,
Are they the same
They both
person?
use the same move, so both of them.
that's not jumping, that's falling with style.
Yeah.
Pretty much, and sticking your arm out. That's about it.
Fair enough.
But no, I do agree it was Ryback's fault. I just really want to make a white man can't jump reference because
Fair
god
enough.
Topical.
damn it, that never gets brought up.
I don't know. I didn't care about this match at all, and the match just wasn't that good. I'm like, okay, I don't care about it, and it's shit. What the hell?
Yeah, it was like we said, the wind down match was literally there to make you go, okay, calm down. Yay, the big match.
Yeah, that made me feel really bad for Kevin Owens too, because he can put on a really good match, and it's like, and he gets Ryback. I'm like, oh god.
But maybe he's done with him now.
Yeah,
so.
A, maybe he's done with him now, and B, I don't feel sorry for Kevin Owens for that. I like Kevin Owens, but Ryback's shit. But to be fair, every wrestler eventually gets stuck with someone's shit. I mean, even Shawn Michaels wrestled Khali.
True.
And Hogan? No. And
Shawn
the
Michaels
80s just
the
tried to
best
kill
seller.
him. Yeah.
You watch it now, and you're like, I see what he's doing. He's embarrassing the racist. That's cool, Shawn Michaels.
Fair enough. What did Jim think about this match? He hasn't spoken about this match.
It was okay.
I believe Jim went on record as saying this was his best one,
No.
and he hopes to build his CAW to have the jumping stats of Ryback.
No. No. Just no.
Wow.
Which is like, what, on par with that fucking shooting star press from Lesnar?
In all fairness, Lesnar addressed that in the Austin podcast. That was
I
not
know.
his idea.
They had to fucking show it. Like, I had to turn away. I cannot watch that anymore.
Yeah.
I saw it once, and it's so fucking uncomfortable. That like they started showing, I'm like, nope, and I just looked away. I'm like, nope, and then I'd like here, and I'd look back, nope, he's still okay. And they like showed it like 4 fucking times, and I'm like, you want me to watch this or not, WWE?
Yeah. What's even worse is after it, he did another one.
Yeah.
But he actually did it successfully that time.
Uh,
But it's like, what? Why would you want him to do it again?
Mm.
Hey, do you remember that thing almost killed you? Yeah. Okay, this time get it right.
Afterwards, like 3 people tried to claim credit for it.
Yeah.
They're just like, I told them to do that, and people are like, there are more than one person trying to claim credit for something that could have ended someone's career and broke their neck. Does no one see a problem with that?
Yeah.
I was like,
I
thank
also
you.
like the idea if Brock shows up after his injury and like, okay, do that thing that killed you, yeah? Okay, this time do it again, faster, more intense. but it almost killed me and I'm a mercenary? No. You're a puppet, do as we say. Next week, wait, why did Brock leave WWE?
I also love that Brock's like, just because I can do something doesn't mean I should do it.
Yeah.
I also love when they did the versus thing for Brock Taker, and they have that side shot of Brock, going but they have that growl over the and all I can think of when he has his mouth open like that is Gah!
Yep.
Is it wrong? I love the sponsored by 2K thing that was going on all night where they kept showing the wrestlers in the game.
Yeah.
Couldn't stop laughing at Rollins v Kane.
Oh.
It's masked Kane, but not as you know him. Because it's literally the tank top masked Kane doing the choke slam stuff. Like, all this is doing is literally highlighting the fact current Kane's not in the game.
Yeah.
You would have been better just showing Seth Rollins or having beaten up corporate Kane after you've just shown the clip of him stamping on his ankle.
Yeah.
Or at least try to cover this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't highlight it with air, you're going to buy it anyway.
I like the promo where they had a bunch of guys going and burning their rival stuff in a bonfire. That was kind of cool.
That was interesting.
I just thought it was weird that like Austin's was Mankind. I was like,
mad.
what?
Yeah.
I found it weird that it wasn't Taker who came out with Lesnar's gloves. I'm like, wait, what? Why do you have Lesnar's gloves? I can't remember who was holding it. But...
It was Rollins. Wouldn't then he wonder why his brother had his hat? Be like, that's where that is, and just goes into the fire and gets it.
To be fair though, isn't Austin v Mankind the big rivalry, Rick?
Yeah, it must have been.
I swear, when I go onto WWE rivalries, they have 2 videos of Austin v someone beginning with M. It must be Mankind, surely.
Huh. Yeah, I'm like, Rollins with Lesnar's gloves just is weird. I'm like, wait, why?
Well, he can't burn his shirt. He doesn't wear them.
Yeah, and to be fair, with Lesnar, that would be Seth Rollins' biggest rival, probably, to be fair.
Fair enough.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he had a longer rivalry with Dean Ambrose, but the Lesnar one is when he won the championship and went on the map and literally put himself on the map as, look, I'm the man. Yeah. So that kind of makes sense for Rollins, and the gloves do symbolize MMA fighter, so it works.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, what he should have done is threw Paul Heyman on the fire.
Yes.
See, if I was going to do something like that, I would have had if I was going to use Rollins, I would have had him come out with something from like the Shield, like a Shield emblem or something. Like, boom.
Yeah. Now, I will say because I think we'll get on to the main event, aren't we now?
Yeah.
That is correct.
WWE need to fire the costume designer.
No,
Twice. Twice it's happened now. I assume other people have noticed it. Have you seen Undertaker's forehead?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that giant line he has across his head?
I saw a picture of it. I didn't know where it was from, though.
He had it on the pay-per-view and he had it on Raw. When he takes his hat off, it's too tight. So it looks like because if you notice by the end of the pay-per-view, it had gone.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like he puts his hat on, it's way too tight, so it's cutting into him. It's like, come on, you have one job. Find a hat big enough for this dude. You've done it before, and if you can't find one, he has hoods.
I think the idea is that they want the hat to be tight so that when he bends over to climb under the rope, it doesn't fall off his head.
Well, good. Now the circulation doesn't reach his head.
I would say yes.
He doesn't have circulation. He's dead.
Jim, I would say yes, Jim, except that makes 0 sense.
Mm-hmm. No, that wasn't.
Because if you notice, let me finish. If you notice, when Taker gets in the ring, he raises his hand and holds the hat on his head when he gets in the ring.
I assumed
enough.
Jim was about to respond with he was joking.
Yes, I was going to respond with I was joking. But I was also going to respond with, you guys are mistaken, that's not a hat line. That was Brock Lesnar's bust me open here target.
We were seeing in Brock vision.
Yes.
Doom, doom, doom.
But if that was the case, shouldn't that be on Brock's own head?
Well, it was a target for Lesnar to hit. But and he probably had one on his own head, too.
Yeah, we didn't see Undertaker vision.
Damn it. Where is Randy Orton Cam?
I don't know.
Now, was that Undertaker bleeding at the end of the match, or was that just Brock's blood getting in his hair?
I know they were both bleeding at the end of the match.
Okay.
Undertaker doesn't bleed. You can't cut that which is dead.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He doesn't bleed. He accidentally lets loose the souls of his victims.
Yes.
There you go.
It's embalmment fluid.
There you go.
Yes. It's the power of Destrucity.
But I did like the Lesnar v Taker match. I will say I was surprised by the ending.
The end or the end of the match?
End of the match.
Okay.
Not by who won, because fair enough, I'm okay with either one winning that match.
Yeah.
My problem was with them building it up as the end of their feud. I thought like he was going to go. One of them would go through the ring, or they would end it in a big, over the top way, not just suddenly, and then both move on to other stuff. It's like that doesn't really feel like the end of a feud in wrestling.
Oh my god, he had fighter to the cell.
Like the second they ripped up the really thin cloth and exposed the wood, that was now 6 times more deadly because no cloth. I basically thought one of them would go through it.
I think the thing is it wasn't just a cloth. I think there was like the padding under the cloth too, because you notice Lesnar pulled up the padding too. Yeah, which I thought was weird. They'd never done that before, and Lesnar just kind of looked at it. I was like, wait. Is he ripping up the ring? Holy shit!
I had the same exact reaction as the announcers, where I'm like, what the hell is he doing? He's like ripping it. I'm like, what? Like, this is weird. I was like, and yeah, like with like kind of like what Mole said, I was like, that's really thin. That's no protection. And he pulls up the mat like a couple minutes later. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, ooh, that tiny cloth. This isn't like pulling the stuff out from the outside the ring where they pull off those like fucking high school gym mats, and then it's like, oh, there's concrete there.
Yeah, the thin, like the little thin cloth. Man, that's not going to do anything. But yeah, and like you said, the padding goes up. It's just the wood. Then when chokeslammed onto the wood, I was like, was that supposed to break? And I was like, oh wait, no, they're making it exposed, so it'll do more damage. Why am I expecting to go under it?
He does it, and a giant skeleton hand comes up, and they're like, this isn't a game.
No. What should have happened is he lifts it up, looks underneath, and there's Hornswoggle sat in a toilet, and then Brock reenacts the T-Rex from Jurassic Park 1 and goes, and just swallows him whole.
I was going to say it's Hornswoggle with a laptop.
There you go.
And a doink skeleton. Oh.
It just starts pulling out like Adam Rose, Fandango, Bo Dallas, and it's just like, oh, that's
Tyler
where they keep
Breeze.
them. Yeah, oh, this is where they are.
I like to think that. I actually think there's like a truck that just freezes them. They just throw them in there.
Big Zeke just puts him back down. Nope. Back down you go. We're plunging. Back down.
Except he was on the other one. He's in phenomenal shape for not doing anything on any other place.
He keeps digging down there, finds Virgil.
Poor Virgil.
It's like, wow, I thought he was the $1 million man. He doesn't pay you enough to be. Well, okay, you stay there.
Just once, if they were to do something like that, something stupid, with someone from pulling someone out from under the ring or anything like backstage, I'd like it to be Curtis Axel dressed like Hulk Hogan, but I want him to do, like the Crime Watch videos where they blur the face for protection, just so people eat that shit up and we're like, wait, was that Hulk Hogan? Oh my god, they just pulled Hulk Hogan. Oh my god.
So what they need to do is they need to bring Curtis Axel back, but he needs to come out dressed like Mr. America.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Also,
No,
did you guys dig Undertaker hitting that pile driver that was on the wood but not actually on the wood?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, wait, you can't say that was on the wood. It wasn't on the wood, Cole.
But then he fell onto it, so that must.
Yeah, then he fell on the
That's
wood.
when the damage calculates.
yeah.
Yeah.
Guess.
Haven't you ever seen any move onto a chair or stairs? A lot of times they don't look like they hit.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, they're wrestlers, they're human beings, they have families.
Mhm.
Yeah, but at least usually the camera angle makes it look like a hit. The camera angle of that tombstone, you could quite plainly see he did not touch the wood at all with the pile driver.
Oh, yeah, he did. That's why I was making that case, because a lot of times when they do it like onto stairs or chairs and stuff like that, it's like 9 times out of 10, you can clearly tell that didn't hit.
Well, unfortunately, in the WWE, they're probably playing by outdated video game logic, and they're afraid that if they hit the weapon, it's going to hit him for a weapon shot instead of the finisher damage.
Funny you mentioned that, Mole, because they have families and stuff. Because with the Bray Wyatt match, when my kid was like, he said something about like hitting him with the kendo sticks or whatever. He's like, why doesn't he do that? I'm like, because he's not actually trying to hurt him. And he's like, oh.
Yeah. It's like when he set those kendo sticks up in the corner and both of them like, oh my, no, we're not going to do this spot. And Chris was like, what? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if he was to Irish whip him like I think he's about to do, he will impale him somewhere. Then when he just walks over to him and just goes, look at it, I'm going to rub your nose in it, look what you did. Like a naughty schoolboy pinching him behind the ear, look at it. Maybe I'm reading too much into that scene. But
Nah.
I was like, okay, fair enough. And then Reigns gets in, hits him, like, oh, okay, fair enough. But yeah, a lot of times I'm like, they're not going to do this. That would actually hurt them. We don't want to actually kill people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when he threw Bray Wyatt through a kendo stick, though, that looked like it hurt.
Yeah, but to be fair, the kendo stick to the head is an easier one.
True.
Because all you have to do is like put their hand or their arm up and come around the skies around it, basically.
Yeah, and then I was a little disappointed when they followed that up and Reigns hit the chair. That didn't look like it hurt at all.
Yeah.
Though I have to ask, in WWE 2K17, are they now going to add ripping up the ring as an OMG move?
I hope not. Just, I don't know. If someone else wants it, that's fine. But if they did that, I could visualize all the money that could have gone to something better just going to that.
Yeah.
Like, who wanted that? Who was like, you know what I need as an OMG? Ripping up the ring and then just hitting him near it. Like, no. I'd rather do the superplex thing. That looks more impressive.
It does.
Yep, I could see them adding it. They've added loads of stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things I don't want it. I'm not going to say no to it, but I don't really say yay. That definitely needs to be there. I could see it being one of those things of like when you've exposed a turnbuckle, of once you expose that area, you can drop them on it for extra damage. But I'm like, who gives a shit about that little extra damage? Like, even when you expose the turnbuckle, let's face it, it doesn't do too much damage. It's just there for fun.
Yeah. I'll be honest, with when they first added that, I think it was on the multi-purpose button, so there were times I was trying to do something else and he'd start to undo it, and I'm like, no, don't do that! I was like, I don't want to do that, I'm trying to climb or run or something else that's not that, stop it.
And see, I always liked it, because if I was heel, I'd expose the turnbuckle, put them in there, and deliberately do Undertaker's snake eyes to the corner every time I'm dropping them on their head around the exposed metal. Boom. And a lot of times I'd bust them open too, and it's like, yeah. Look how evil I am. Sorry, Ray. I'm sorry, Ray. I love Rey Mysterio in video games. He is the perfect beat slut. Because he's small enough that it looks brutal as fuck how I'm being evil to him. He's established enough that I am legitimate for beating him up, but he's also quick enough that it makes a great counterintuitive to just beating his ass.
For more on this, go back into our Expanded archive and watch my Death of Rey Mysterio video.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody
Like
remember
I
that?
I don't know why. He's just like the perfect one for that, for me at least. I don't know why. Poor Ray. That's why I always wanted one year the ability to rip his mask off.
Ah.
I'm not saying that, well, let's expose him, because that I know that is an insult to some Mexican wrestlers and stuff, and that's fair enough. I just mean for a video game, why not just give us the ability to just rip it or tug his mask? You know what I mean? Like how many times have they done storylines in WWE where someone's tried to demask him?
Mm-hmm.
True.
Let us actually do that as the heel. Like, oh no, give me that mask. Ah, now you're exposed. Let's see you bleed now.
See, yeah, see, if anything, they should just do the thing where you could rip Ray's mask off, but he has another mask on underneath it.
Yeah. But like I said, I don't know if that's just me with the Rey Mysterio thing, though. If I just always used him as a beat slot, and I shouldn't, because I really do like Rey. I like him a lot more than a lot of the people in the game that I don't use as beat slots. Like I don't like Ryback, as people know. All I ever did with Ryback was feed him local talent, establish him, then destroy him as the face I needed to, then put him on the inactive list. I never bothered actually using him as a beat slot. With Ray, it's like, oh my god, me v Ray, this is going to be hilarious. Oh my god, how many OMGs can I do to him this time?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I think that's the moment where I beat him, where I killed him. Oh, did I kill him? Did I kill him? I know what I'll do. And I just kept hitting him with the stairs till he reversed. And RKO on that game that year when if they were holding the stairs and he did an RKO, their head fucking bounced the shit off the stairs because of some weird glitch. But every time it was hilarious.
Mysterio and stairs.
Yeah. But yeah, the matchup itself was a great out-and-out brawling matchup.
It was.
And I did believe that it was meant to be the two big titans, as they are, like now a little older, but two big titans just trying to kill each other.
Yes. Also, I will say I think this establishes that shot to the balls is the best counter to your opponent taunting in your face.
It is.
So does that mean that that's how you're going to destroy Marcus next year in the game?
Now, he doesn't taunt my face. He taunts outside the ring like a pussy.
Yeah, so you just run out and then low blow him. Or
Yeah,
have or raise enough money for Yosemite Sam on a scooter to ride over
chase him
there,
around, yeah.
drive by.
I just want those interactive stuff back at the end of the match from the Wii games, where you used to be able to pick what you did to your opponent after the match, like hit him with chairs, taunt, or something like that. And just because it's a video game, and just because it's on the Xbox One and the PS4 for that audience, I want a teabagging button.
That should be there.
Because how amazing would that be? Oh my god, what's that? Mole just cheated to beat Marcus and Jim in like a triple threat ladder match. Wait, what's he going to do? He's now teabagging Marcus. Oh yeah. As Jim disapproves and walks off, leaving him. Oh yeah, he's still teabagging Marcus.
Highlight reel. That'll be your entrance movie.
That would be my entrance video, yeah, especially if you could see him online.
Yeah.
It would be the worst thing ever.
Or
Let's
the
never
best
add a
thing
tea-
ever.
Let's never add a teabagging button to the video. Or DLC.
There you go.
Oh my god,
That's
that's literally going to be in the game one year if they ever do create a winning animation, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone will make it where they walk over their opponent and go,
I'd allow it. I would take that for having created an animation back.
There you go. No, I think we established it earlier. The teabag your opponent button is going to be part of the terrorizing DLC.
Yeah. Oh, bloody Triple H's like, yay, they followed me. I'm torn. Mrs. Helmsley, I'm torn. Oh, what's wrong? My friends, yeah? They remember my WCW career. Oh? Well, on the flip side, yeah? They remember me. They've been big fans for years. Cool. They remember me, my friends, yeah? But on the other side, yeah? They remember WCW, and we want to pretend that wasn't good to justify our own ineptness.
All right. So what about the after the match stuff for this one?
That was weird.
I was surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I was surprised to see the Wyatts come out. But I mean, more to the point, I was more surprised by the fact that I was expecting Kane to run out to make a save.
Yeah.
That's why I'm expecting. What I'm expecting is going forward to SummerSlam, Brothers of Destruction,
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, Brothers of Destruction, Ambrose and Reigns versus the Wyatts.
Survivor Fest.
And maybe teaming them with a returning Randy Orton if he heals up.
Yep.
Well, they only need 4 to take on the Wyatts. Kane, Taker, Reigns, Ambrose. Boom.
Yeah, but Survivor Series is usually 5-on-5.
Last year was 3-on-3. If you pay attention to pay-per-views.
Yeah, they've fudged the numbers before that. It's been bigger and smaller. But a 4v4 Survivor Series match, if you see that match, are you really going to go, oh, there should be an extra person? Boo, you've hurt the idea of an elimination tag with multiple people.
No.
Oh, would you say that's a good match?
Yeah.
It's like, were you complaining Royal Rumble when they added more or less people in 30? No, I thought the idea behind it was cool.
Fair enough.
The match itself wasn't when they added 40 people, but the idea was cool. Like, oh, cool, you're going to showcase more people on your roster. Now they're going to have Nexus beat them all up and have some celebrities. Oh, cool. That's what happened. But yeah, like I said, I could see that with the Wyatts and Brothers of Destruction, and I'm just going to say Shield because that'd be easier. Shield and Brothers of Destruction v Wyatts. That could be a great Survivor Series match and one that actually has some semblance of sense.
Mm-hmm. Although, wasn't the Hell in a Cell supposed to be the end of the Reigns and Wyatt feud? Like, wasn't this supposed to be the match to end it?
Mm-hmm.
It was, but wasn't Rock Cena meant to be once in a lifetime?
True.
Wasn't the Hell in a Cell supposed to end the rivalry between Shawn Michaels and Triple H, but yet they kept finding ways to then insert them into like elimination chambers and triple threats? WWE likes to do this a lot.
So does that mean we're going to see Taker v Brock WrestleMania 32?
Assuming Undertaker's still around, yeah. Because I made the comment of how often they were teasing the Survivor Series thing with him. I'm pretty sure he's retiring at Survivor Series, probably.
Probably.
Yeah, I can see that.
He might not be. He might just announce that at WrestleMania he's retiring. I don't know, but I'm expecting him to retire.
Yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if Kane was going with him.
Oh, because the Wyatts kidnapped Undertaker, what's gonna happen is he's gonna come out the next week on Raw and say, I'm no longer the Phenom, the Undertaker, give his hat to Stephanie and say, you now control the Phenom, and then he's gonna become the new director of operations. I mean, they just got a job opened.
Ha!
Wait, isn't Corey Graves going to try for that?
Yeah. Because isn't that literally how Kane became director of operations? Got kidnapped by the Wyatts, appeared, then suddenly was weaker, and then became director of operations.
I don't remember.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, he got kidnapped by the Wyatts when he was off filming his film. Then they needed an excuse to take the mask back off him because his film was coming out. So like, fuck it, let's just have him come out, yeah? Let's have him take his mask off, removing all elements of mystique. And let's have him hand it to Stephanie and be like, it's cool. Your husband once dressed up as me to fuck my dead girlfriend, but that's cool because reasons.
Right.
Yeah, wrestling's fucked up at times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestling's one of the few times I will say turning your brain off helps.
Absolutely.
It's like, they changed the rules this week. Wonderful. Oh, we got a multiple choice between the exact same type of match. Maybe there's a difference between them I haven't picked up on. WWE knows me better than I know me, so logically there's some subtlety to these differences. Cool, I will now vote on my app that you've told me to download. Thank you, WWE. You always have my best interest at heart.
Okay, then.
More people should be like that. No, more people should not be. I still remember that fucking thing I was talking to you about the other day, Marcus.
What's that?
That wrestling's greatest secrets exposed.
Yeah.
I remember, oh god, I found that and I was rewatching that the other day, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Still fucking hilarious to hear Salem the Cat constantly referring to wrestling as a scam and how it's fake and talking about all the stuff about how bad it is because of it. But it's not like when they exposed magic where people are like, oh, how did they actually do this trick? We want to know. It was stuff like, did you know someone decides who's going to win the matches? It's like, we know this. That's like saying, oh, here's a secret to Star Trek. Someone, plans out their space adventures in advance. Who cares? We know it's fake. We know a lot of the tricks, like all the tricks they told us, or most of them, with some people, or at least some of them, people knew. We just don't care. It's like when you say you like wrestling to people, and they're like, oh, it's fake. Yes, we're aware of this. It's like when you talk to us about Game of Thrones, we don't believe you actually think dragons exist. We just know it's a show you like.
Unless you're Pew.
You need to do that though.
Yeah, next time someone mentions Game of Thrones, like, do you know that's fake?
Mm.
You know that dragon's just CGI, right? It's predetermined CGI.
Plus, as far as George R. R. Martin is concerned, we might never actually see the dragons to know if they're real.
We've seen dragons.
Have there seen dragons on there?
Yeah, we've seen dragons. There's been dragons since their coming joke that South Park made.
Fair enough.
Yeah, somehow between all the incest, they found time to put in the dragons, I guess.
They did. But no, that's just one. Like I said, it's just one of those things. I don't know why people do that. Like anything else, like if you say to me, Mole, I happen to enjoy Dynasty Warriors. Mole doesn't say to you, well, you know, everything that happened in Dynasty Warriors with how your game's doing it, yeah, that's not how it actually happened. That's just fake. No, what Mole would say is, cool, and which I've mentioned to you in the past, and I was like, oh, cool, and then I asked you about the types of games, and eventually I tried one. I don't just go, oh, that's fake. Oh,
like
that's just fake sport.
I was just like, it's like, you know, hedgehogs aren't actually blue, and they don't look like that. They're actually just, small surface, and you're just like, no, I know. I know they're not fast. Shut up. And then you cried.
To which I said, challenge accepted, and that's how I won the Nobel Prize.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like, why do people feel need to do that? It's weird. And it's also funny when it's like, oh, you're watching the wrestling crap, that's fake sport, and then go and do fantasy football. Which sponsored the fake crap today. I believe that's what DraftKings says.
Something like that.
When I was out earlier, I saw a dude in a jersey. I almost went up to him and be like, "Oh, cool," and called him the name on the back of it. And he's like, "That's not my name." Be like, "Oh, you're wearing a costume. Cool. It's not Halloween yet." Because he was smaller than me, so I don't think he would have got in my face. But I was like, "Nah, I'm not quite that mean, but that'd be fucking hilarious." Because what's he gonna like? How would you react? You either get really mad or just be really confused.
Yeah, he'd either be like, "This guy's an idiot. Who let him out the asylum?" or he's starting shit. There's no middle ground with that. It's like, oh, what a valid point you make.
Also, by the way, Victor, I wouldn't make that assumption about his size because 2 words, Samoa Joe.
Okay.
The small dudes can fuck you up too.
Samoa Joe's not. He's like somewhat shorter, but he's not. I wouldn't call Samoa Joe a small dude.
Okay, fine.
Also,
or you've a great colleague.
Okay, fine. Daniel Bryan will fuck you up then.
There you go. No, he wouldn't. He has had like 18 concussions. I'm pretty sure. You just slap him on the side of the head. He'd be like, "No, my career."
And I'm also pretty sure Samoa Joe isn't going around Richter's supermarket or shop in a football jersey.
If he's gonna be like, "Oh, hey," and then he turn around and be like, "Oh, Samoa Joe."
Yeah, Richter goes, "I'm about to make my hilarious joke." What's this? "Oh, Samoa Joe, you're the best one. You're the best."
I was just never mind. Also, backtrack for 2 seconds. New black card. Mole won the Nobel Prize in blank.
I should
Don't-
do that.
Don't besmirch my Nobel Prize. Many people died so I could get that.
People or boffins?
People. Also known as test labs.
The whole lab wiped out.
Yeah, and I allegedly had permission.
So you're Cave Johnson. Fair enough.
I allegedly. I feel like adding allegedly makes everything better.
The alleged scalping.
But, yeah, like I said, the Undertaker-Brock match, I liked the match.
It was a good match.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
I have to wonder if they're going to address the Wyatt thing or not, because I could easily see them after this just not addressing it at all until like fucking Survivor Series.
Huh?
I'm pretty sure they're going to mention him, though.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I just laughed at JBL when he's like, "This is despicable." I was like, "Wait, you did this shit when you had the cabinet? What the fuck?" Like, oh yeah, because that was more than 3 months ago. I forgot.
Yep.
We don't remember that.
I'm also pretty sure he did this shit when he was the Undertaker's acolyte.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That too.
he did it when he's... Yeah, but he's a commentator now. We're supposed to forget that.
Yep.
It's like whenever Joey the King Lawler was like, "Oh my god, I want to suck Vince McMahon's cock." We completely forgot about the fact he was in Memphis as the King, constantly talking about how he was the King and the only authority that matters in wrestling. But no, he's a commentator now. It doesn't matter. His past is the past.
Yep.
There you go.
Doesn't matter. It's in the past, as a monkey once said.
You can either run from it or learn from it.
Or Benoit it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Just wow.
Oh, that's not the worst way I could use the word Benoit or something.
I'm sure, Mole. I'm sure.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Mole won the Nobel Prize in using Benoit.
Using Benoit for evil. That should be a card.
Yes.
Yeah.
Benoit
Like WWE
needs
has
to
used
be a white
Hogan's
card.
racism for evil.
Benoit needs to be a white card.
There you go. Probably is.
Maybe? No. I believe we have shades of Benoit, but
Yeah.
regardless.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Survivor Series. The Wyatts versus Undertaker and 3 Druids.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. Is what the hell happened to his druids? Like, all of a sudden, like after like Brock broke the streak, all of a sudden he's not worthy to have druids.
Yeah,
He
they
doesn't have them every pay-per-view.
It's the same reason Adam Rose doesn't have Rosebuds anymore. They couldn't afford to pay the indie dudes to show up in the costumes.
Yeah.
true.
But like I said, Undertaker
Wasn't
doesn't
asking for
have
the real reason.
No, like I said, Undertaker doesn't have druids every time. He only has them on normally on big stages.
Yeah, I just thought, this was the match that was supposed to end their feud the last time these two are fighting. I thought that would have been big enough for him to pull out the druids, but I guess not.
It's not as big as like WrestleMania. It's like why doesn't Triple H always have his King of Kings throne?
Why doesn't he ride out on a giant skull and cut a bear in two with a sword?
But yeah, like you said, I was expecting anyone to come out to try to save the Undertaker. It's like, he's like the locker room general and stuff, and you're just gonna let him get his ass whooped by 4 hillbillies? What the fuck?
I thought someone might come out and make the save, but at the same time, not too surprised. This is the same locker room that let the Nexus bury him alive. They're like, nah, fuck him. At the same locker room that didn't come out and help when 30 dudes put him in a coffin. And he literally rose to heaven.
Okay then.
That actually happened.
I don't think they came out to save a girl being sacrificed either, but
Well, one dude did.
Yeah, one dude did,
dude.
but that's one more than none.
Yeah.
Scoreboard, Rick.
Yeah. There's the same locker room that didn't come out to save Eric Bischoff when Stephanie SmackDown people invaded Raw.
Yep. The locker room really just doesn't come out unless, Daniel Bryan didn't win. Daniel Bryan's been mistreated. We must stage a walkout. Mankind's been fired, despite the fact that loads of other people have been fired. Now we suddenly care and are going to walk out because The Rock says so. It's like, pick your battles, locker room.
Maybe you have to call out the locker room.
I don't know.
Just back there, like they just gotta say it. They just gotta say it, but no one's like, "Someone get out here and help!" And they're like, "Oh, that's our cue."
That's fine. That's why everybody came out at Takeover after the Bayley Sasha match. They were practicing.
Yeah.
NXT got practicing.
They were just like, this is an injustice. A vigilante will show up to save Undertaker. That's cool. Let's just wait for Sting. And as Undertaker's being carried to the back, Seth Rollins goes, "Oh yeah, about that. My bad." And everyone goes, "Really? You couldn't have just told us this like 2 minutes earlier."
They're like, "You had one job, Rollins."
See, I think it would have been a pretty interesting twist if, if like JBL was like, "Oh, this is despicable, blah blah blah," and no one's coming out to help. And then you just hear, screw this, and JBL puts his shit down and like starts to take off his coat, and he's like, and he's the one that comes out though because Acolyte.
I will admit, if we're talking the actual stuff, I did think Kane might come out and make a save.
Yeah, the audience
I was also expecting the other one. I was also expecting the other one. I'm not sure if anyone else was. I was kind of expecting Brock.
I kind of thought about that, although I was like, but Brock's kind of fucked up. He's kind of defenseless too, so it wouldn't be much of a save. He'd just be feeding people to the Wyatt at that point.
Yeah, but it's Brock and Taker at that point. But it was a case of Taker was beaten up, and at the end of their matchup, when Brock looked up the ramp, you could make the case, it was the end of their feud. They now respect each other.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, the Wyatts v Brock and Undertaker.
Yeah.
I could easily see those two taking out 4 dudes. I mean, DX took out a whole squad of cheerleaders, including Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah.
That is true. Also, plus it's Brock. Let us not forget, this is the same dude who got assaulted by the Shield, beat to crap, triple powerbomb through a fucking table, and then popped up like it was nothing, destroyed everything that moved, and still retained his title.
And
this
still
is also the same Brock who was trying to sell the fact that Undertaker's better than all of them.
Yeah, but that's what I'm about. I don't know why. Part of me thought Brock was going to come back out and it was going to be a handshake between them to end their feud.
See, that's
so
what
I could see that. Or the one I was thinking most was Kane, but nothing happened. They just carried him away.
I thought if Brock came out, he would just like he would look like he was going to help, and then he'd stop and just start laughing, and then just.
Undertaker, puts a wig on. I'm Sister Abigail.
Come on!
I'm Sister Abigail! Come on!
That would be the Russoist of swerves.
Yeah.
To which Paul Heyman's just like, really? I created ECW and they brought me back for this. No, you know what? No, fuck you, Paul. I quit, and just drops the microphone and just walks off into the crowd. I do like the idea of Beth Lesnar as Sister Abigail.
That's great.
Yeah, no, for a moment I thought Lesnar might also come out. I had him as a potential, but then I thought about it and I was like, as fucked up as he was at the end of that match, I was like, he really wouldn't be much help. So
yeah. It'd be really fucked up if someone who's been through a really grueling Hell in a Cell was to come out at the end of this. Oh wait. Bray was supposed to be fucked up.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything. It was the family that did everything. He just walked in there and laughed.
Yeah, but he walked in there and laughed. But the fact he walked in there and wasn't holding his ribs or acting injured.
Yeah.
I thought he'd be at least looking injured.
Yeah. Also, it would be great if Brock came out, because Brock and Taker Taker, they're staring on the Wyatts. Brock and Taker are looking at each other like, well, I think this feud has taught us one thing. We know what to do. They just start punching Wyatt members in the dick.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go from here with this.
It will.
It will.
And I'm hoping Richter's back for Survivor Series.
Indeed.
Probably, yeah.
Yay! That's a definite probably.
Oh yeah. It was out. We can definitely look forward for Rick Victor being back next week for the radio play wrap up.
Hopefully.
Possibly.
Oh. Now I'm sad.
Possibly he let us know in advance multiple times that he has a party that day and may not make it.
Ah, fair enough.
But he was there for all the ones that mattered. Which
Indeed.
is more than I can say about any of the other cast members.
I know, but
Yeah.
Clayface is the best one.
He is. Which is why, for example, if you're doing like, oh look, they're interviewing people about James Bond, you don't always see Sean Connery.
True.
He's Sean Connery.
Mm.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the voice he used when he fought Batman.
Nice.
Okay then.
Mm. I don't think anybody disagrees that he's Sean Connery. I think the problem is he was Alan Quartermain.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
Okay,
take us home, Hammy.
All right. So there you have it. Our thoughts on Hell in the Cell and what we
Like-
liked in the month
With all
before.
respect to Hammy, say it right. Hell in a cell.
I always
And
prefer
our
the other
thoughts
one.
on Hell in a Cell. And
I always preferred the other one.
which
When it was Undertaker v Brock and they kept doing the slow motion of Stephanie going, okay, Brock, you got your match. Or, okay, Taker, you got your match, yeah? Hell in the Cell. When they just slowed it down. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. It's meant to be dramatic, but you've made it hilarious. I was like, for the
Yeah.
longest time, whenever I was talking about Hell in a Cell, I always used to go, Hell in the Cell.
He became Sylvester Stallone? Hey, this feud ain't over yet. Hell in a cell.
that was too. We could understand that. You gotta work on
Yeah.
Adrian! Now what comes out? What?
But all right, there you have it. Our thoughts on Hell in the Cell and what we liked.
How to pronounce it.
Yeah, and our free lesson of how to pronounce Hell in the Cell in increasingly hilarious ways. So, like, thank everyone here for joining me this evening.
Although, I will say this pay-per-view misses one thing.
Mhm.
It's not Hell in a Cell until we see Tim White try and kill himself. Just saying.
It's true. It's true.
Make it happen, WWE.
Bring it back, damn it. It was the best part of Hell in a Cell.
Mm. No, it's not. It's not Hell in a Cell unless the Ninja Turtles are in the building.
There you go.
Why not both?
Perfect.
Yes.
Oh,
He tries to kill himself
just-
with the Ninja Turtles.
not just it. He puts on a Shredder costume and he runs at the Ninja Turtles.
And they're like, oh, hi, Nash.
I said Shredder, not Super Shredder.
Which one's the ugly one? Tyler Breeze comes out, all of you. And they're like, oh, and then they feel bad.
Yeah.
Cheap heel. All right, but anyway, thank everyone for joining us, and come
Thank
back
you for
next
joining
week.
us, Rector.
Oh, you're welcome. And come back next week for some more wrestling-related stuff on X-Marks the Spot, and of course, as Big Will would say, keep it tight. Daddy,
Daddy.
keep it tight. Keep it tight for Daddy.